Country music legend known for her lilting voice and writing songs that hit home, including Jolene and I Will Always Love You. Parton turned to acting in 9 to 5, and she also expanded her empire to support charities close to her heart, but Parton always kept to her Southern roots. In an interview with ABC's Barbara Walters, Parton talked about her push to be seen beyond her looks.
I want people to know there's some brains beneath the wig and a heart beneath the boobs. And I think people are beginning to see that.
Her publicist says Parton died in Nashville, Tennessee, peacefully and with family. Her nephew, Brian Seaver, says they'll make sure her legacy lives on.
Our family and the team she has entrusted with her legacy will work diligently. Dolly was a farmer, just like her daddy. He farmed the soil. She farmed songs and happiness.
Parton was 80 years old. This is ABC News. CIA Director John Radcliffe reportedly in Moscow. ABC News has learned from meetings, although there's been no official comment from the CIA or Defense Department. A Ukrainian official tells ABC News Ukraine agreed not to strike Moscow during that visit. ABC's Marcus Moore says Ukraine has been making gains in the war.
Ukraine has managed to hit targets deep inside Russia, and that's notable because they've been hitting oil-producing facilities, and Russia has had to shut down some of those facilities, and it's caused a bit of a fuel crisis in Russia. In fact, in Moscow and parts of St. Petersburg recently, there have been gas lines, people trying to get fuel. There's also been rationing fuel. So there is a real sense that Ukraine is having some success.
Thousands of people in Gary, Indiana, still without power today, nearly 2 weeks after severe storms tore through. Some residents have had to deal with dwindling food supplies at stores. City's mayor and state power company estimates power will be back on by midnight. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Dolly Parton's local connection, that is one story coming up. But first, a check on your KIRO News Radio traffic. In Northgate, South 5, we're looking pretty good today. It gets crowded about Lake City Way in the downtown. North 5 slows at the north end of the Boeing Field up to the West Seattle Bridge. Another brief backup approaching 520. In Renton, North 405, we're bumper to bumper through the Renton S-curves from an earlier stall that cleared a good half hour ago, so we're just slow to recover here. South 405 is crowded from I-90 to the VMAC, and up in Everett, we've got road work blocking the left lane on southbound 529 at the Snohomish River Bridge through 2:30 this afternoon. This report brought to you by your Seattle Mariners. Don't miss out on fireworks nights presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the Sing-Along Show, September 4th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Country music legend Dolly Parton has died at 80.
Try to make the most of every moment.
That's Dolly singing at Tacoma's Pantages Theater back in 2023 when her Imagination Library became a statewide program. Through that program, she gave away nearly 308 million free books to children, calling it the most important work of her life.
We don't have to be so mean to each other. I think common decency and kindness, we're not all supposed to be alike. Remember what they say about variety being the spice of life? But that doesn't mean we can't be good neighbors. We can't be good people.
Parton had disclosed health challenges last fall and was grieving the 2025 death of her husband, Carl Dean. A Kittitas County business owner is taking wildfire protection into his own hands, literally buying an old fire truck off Facebook Marketplace as his home and business are under threat from the Three Queens wildfire. Sean Parker runs Cascade Playtime Rentals in the town of Ronald. He bought the truck with $6,000 of his own money and says he and his two sons will man the rig.
They're about $700,000. It's a good running 500 horsepower Detroit, big turbo diesel. It's got the big pumps. It's got all the big hookups.
Parker says he plans to spray down trees and properties around his home and rental business if the fire gets too close. Pumpkin spice season has arrived in Seattle, even though summer temperatures are still with us. Starbucks is bringing back its popular pumpkin spice latte today, marking the earliest ever launch of the seasonal drink. Customers can order it hot or iced, along with new pumpkin-flavored drinks and other fall menu items. Few people can say they've witnessed more than a century of world-changing events, but Pullman's Merrill Morecambe, the 109-year-old, recently celebrated his birthday with family over the weekend. According to the Moscow Pullman Daily News, Moore is believed to be Washington State's oldest living man. He has lived through the Roaring '20s, the Great Depression, World War II, and decades of history since. His family says Moore remains active and sharp-witted. A tiny village in northwest Alaska may now have the most expensive gasoline in America. According to the Alaska Beacon in Shungnak, the price of a gallon of gas jumped to nearly $27 this week after fuel had to be flown into the community when low river levels blocked barge deliveries. Residents say the soaring cost hits especially hard during hunting season. And now checking your KIRO News Radio weather. A hot one today with highs around 86. Could get a little warmer, mixed with some wildfire smoke. Tomorrow starts off cloudy, turning mostly sunny at 78 for the high. Thursday, morning clouds. They'll stick around for most of the day with an occasional sprinkle, and 73. 74 Friday under mostly cloudy skies. Mostly sunny and 75 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Happy Tuesday to everybody out there. Jake Skorheim sitting alongside Spike O'Neill.
Happy Tuesday, brother.
Happy Tuesday. We have a lot of stuff we're going to get to today. A lot of very interesting things. We've got some very interesting Seahawks stuff to talk about. We've got some very interesting mail-in ballot stuff, Supreme Court stuff to talk about. Police officers, are there more? Are there less? In Seattle, why is that happening?
Why are they leaving?
Why are they leaving? Why are they not?
Where are they going?
Hiring a ton. All of these things we will discuss in greater depth in just a moment. But first, this was just like, what, an hour ago that the news came out that Dolly Parton passed away?
Yeah, I think about an hour ago broke.
Very sad that Dolly Parton passed away, but she had been recently dealing with some health issues, and not a young woman.
80 years of age.
80 years of
in
age.
January.
Dolly Parton was one of, I mean, you're obviously, you've been steeped in music for your entire life. You're, aside from this job, you're also a musician that goes and you guys have gigs. And how big of a deal?
I was raised on music. My parents, my dad especially, was a music lover and an audiophile. And they grew up in the era of Dolly.
Sure.
And she was, Dolly Parton was a force of nature. You lose your icons as time marches forward, and and when you get to be my age, and I'm a lot older than you or Laura are, but you see your icons go. I remember when we lost Elvis. I remember when we lost Frank Sinatra. I mean, this is the level of iconic American treasure.
With Dolly, what's interesting is she, like you mentioned, different generations here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But everybody has some touchstone with her in media. I mean, you either knew who she was because she's she's always been there. My entire life, she's been a super famous presence.
Across so many medium, whether it's, movies, television, music, of course.
I wonder what, the
philanthropy,
youngest...
everything.
Yeah, I wonder what the youngest age of somebody would be who would have an awareness of Dolly Parton. I feel like it's pretty young, which is unique because just like Elvis, who everybody in the world knew, Dolly Parton's one of those people who kind of comes from a different era. Everything nowadays, there's so many different ways to get your entertainment and your music. All of that is so segregated now. You can be on your Spotify's, you could be a YouTube person, whatever, and you can find your niche. But back in the day, Dolly Parton was everywhere. She was a super famous musician, super famous. Was 9 to 5 a TV show or a movie?
A movie. She was a movie actress.
She was a movie star.
She was a movie star. And it's funny, on television, back when television was the medium that encompassed all of America's attention, she was a groundbreaking talent in so much that I think it was Porter Wagner that she had a collaboration with on his television show. And she literally was the first woman to achieve the kind of notoriety and fandom, that allowed her to call her own shots in her career.
Which she did
beautifully and brilliant. She was a brilliant businesswoman.
$650 million. I mean, not like that's the only thing that matters. It's the least important thing,
but
I find it interesting.
It is, and it's what you do with your opportunity. She, literally was break the glass ceiling with her hair. The wigs, the look, Dolly's look.
She was known for a lot of things.
She was unabashedly confident.
Yeah.
and proud and eminently talented.
She walked into the room with a lot of confidence.
And her confidence got there 30 seconds before she did. And just Nate's quote in that, Nate's quote that he played in the news break there, because it literally is the biggest story in America right now, and I think it should be. It was her kindness and her overall belief in life.
Everybody loved her.
Yeah, well, yeah. And that everybody deserved to be treated well and decently and kindly. And as a woman coming up through the entertainment industry in the era that she did, I mentioned the groundbreaking, talent and achievements that she had. Wasn't always the case.
Sure.
And now everybody who benefits from respect of your peers and opportunity of your abilities, I think owe in some part to Dolly Parton, man.
The president has issued all flags to be lowered to this week and for a week.
Half staff
honoring Dolly. Everybody loved Dolly. That's the thing. It's like you rarely come across somebody these days who everybody has a fondness for.
Right. Universally loved and respected,
beloved by everybody. And she's one of those characters from back in the day. Her background, it's really interesting. I'm fascinated by people who start in one place and just completely finish in a different place. Like if you were to look at her life statistically, where she grew up, she should not have become one of the biggest well-known stars in the world. Her dad apparently could not read or write, and they had a very poor existence growing up, and he had to work a bunch of side things just to make ends meet. She wrote songs about this. She was a brilliant writer. One of her most famous songs, I think we have it here, but one of her most famous songs was sung by made very, very famous by somebody else, but she originally did it, and that was I Will Always Love You.
I've made a little money, I've laughed some, I've danced to the music, it's just time to pay the fiddler, that's all.
If I should stay, well, I would only be in your way. And so I'll go, and yet I know.
So this is from a movie?
Well, this was
featured
written
first in a movie.
This was written in '73, and it was Porter Wagner, the guy who mentioned that gave her start on television as a feature performer on his television show. She wrote this to him when he passed, and this became a huge radio hit, a record in '73. It was in the movie, I think, Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. And,
which I haven't seen, but it's
brilliant.
It's great.
It's a musical comedy. Her and Burt Reynolds have such on-screen chemistry.
Is it about a brothel?
It's about a brothel in Texas and a local sheriff who helps protect it from politicians who want to, Anywho, Elvis wanted to record that. Elvis loved that song in '74. That was written in '73, and Dolly released it.
Oh, interesting.
Elvis wanted to record it, and Dolly was like, Elvis in '74. There's nothing on the planet bigger, right? But Colonel Parker wanted like half the publishing rights for Elvis's version.
She said no.
She said no, thanks.
Whoa.
No thanks, Elvis.
That'd be a tough no.
Right? From a woman in a man's industry in '74, it wasn't what it is today.
So she held on to that song.
Yeah.
And then Whitney Houston got it.
With the movie
Bodyguard.
Best Little Whorehouse, and then Bodyguard, Whitney Global.
Exploded the song.
Right. And
yeah. She basically, I didn't even know the song was a Dolly Parton song for years.
Right.
I just assumed this was Whitney Houston's ballad in this amazing movie.
It's Dolly, man.
But it was Dolly.
She was a great writer. Talk about how poor she was, A Coat of Many Colors. They made a movie about her life.
Yeah.
But they grew up in a shack with no power and no water and
Appalachia.
Yeah. Or I think Kentucky, Tennessee, I believe. But yeah, the lower Southern Appalachians, and just to come from that to become an international, mega star. No bigger star on the face of the earth.
I'm also really fascinated in how people who are just really good at what they do creatively, I'm very interested in this with, writers or artists or whatever it might be.
So writers?
Writers.
Okay, I thought you said rioters.
Oh, no, not writers. I'm not interested in writers.
I was like, I'm sorry.
Well, in
Fascinating
writers,
take.
So her as a writer, as a songwriter, where you get your inspiration from, from whatever that inspires you to write a little thing. And so she has this song, Jolene, which everybody probably knows. You probably know the backstory of where she was inspired by the song. But let me play a little bit of the song for you in just a second. But my wife and I heard somebody talking about this the other day, and they were saying that the place that she was inspired was that some lady, she was married to her husband forever, and he just passed away like a year ago. Yes. And obviously she was mourning him, and they seem to have a very long, pretty happy marriage together.
Absolutely.
And apparently in the younger years, some bank teller was kind of flirty with her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And so she kind of took offense to that, but only in as much as it was useful to write Jolene, the song. And that's what the whole song is inspired by. It was this like tiny little interaction that her husband had with a bank teller.
And how many women could relate to that moment in their lives?
Yes.
When somebody else was.
But from an artistic point, it's not like she sat there and watched her husband admit to her that he was having an affair with this person. It was just like some little interaction that she maybe witnessed and said like, oh, that's a good seed of something.
Yeah.
And then she turned it into this song, which is just brilliant. And we'll get into other stuff here. It's not going to all be Dolly stuff, but this is interesting.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
She's like a bank teller.
Yeah.
Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can.
She was so great.
Is beyond compare with flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green.
All right, we'll have a
Rolling
lot.
Stone called it the 63rd greatest song of all time.
Jolene?
Jolene, in the top 500 songs ever written by Rolling Stone magazine. Yeah.
It's a good song.
She was a brilliant writer.
Yeah, she was a really good writer.
Because everybody could relate to Dolly. And Dolly could relate to, I mean, these are human emotions. Everybody's had their man poached by a better looking, or every woman has had their man, at some point, a better looking woman.
Draws the eye.
Right? Some vixen.
Dolly Parton draws a lot of eye.
Yes.
So it's
absolutely.
it's interesting take coming from Dolly Parton. We'll have more on Dolly Parton in the 1 o'clock rundown. Her family put out maybe the sweetest video just talking about how much she meant to them and where they think she, obviously they believe she's in heaven now and what she meant to the world and to them. And it's just like all the signs when you think about what life is going to be for the people that are in your life after you're gone. I mean, it's a sign of a life well lived. That everybody in your sphere, they're doing great. Mm-hmm. You've shepherded them along the path that they know, and now they're all like full. To be in a sphere of a super famous person probably can also be kind of suffocating. They all seem like they managed it great, and probably there's some folks in her family that are like, Dolly, like at some point in life.
Every family's got some. Yeah,
everybody's got like that.
Yeah.
But like she seems to have really figured out how to prioritize, and probably because she was in the career for 60 years, she figured out how to manage that. But like how to prioritize the real things in life, and then also the persona part of it, which she definitely got the persona, but it feels like all the real stuff in life, the family, the things that she held dear and important to her.
When we get into this at 1 o'clock, the work she did, philanthropic work she did.
Everything, yeah.
It's how many lives that she improved.
I mean, just to think of somebody talking about you after you've gone, I mean, that's like
legacy, right?
She
legacy.
seemed to figure it out. All right, let's switch over to something that's not figured out. Let's talk about the SPD.
A little bit legacy here too, right?
What do you think about this? Jason Rantz, he's got this piece, Seattle Red. You can check it out there. Seattle Police, I'm going to read you a little bit from the beginning of this, and then it's going to lead into our question of the day. Seattle Police Department lost an additional 7 officers since August 11th, putting the total separated from the department this year at 69. It only grew its total sworn count by 6 people over the last month, and it added exactly 1 officer to the force actually available to answer 911 calls, according to internal staffing data obtained exclusively by the Jason Rantz Show on Seattle Red 770 AM. He then talks about where the projections for Seattle Police Department want to be and where they actually are. They do have this count that sounds positive. They say SPD counts 1,197 sworn personnel. When you also factor in recruits, students in field training, and unavailable officers that are all folded in, that number is up from 1,191 in mid-July. But when you take all of the people away from that can't actually respond to a 911 call.
Right, that's what matters.
Which is all
when
the
you pick up the phone and you need help.
That's what he points to.
Right.
He goes, when somebody's sitting online waiting or on the phone waiting for police to respond to a 911 call, all they care about is how fast can you get here?
Right.
And for those officers, he says that number is actually only 929. And that's not good in a city this size.
These are the numbers. We said, numbers don't lie, man, and these are the actual numbers.
So here's my question to you and also to the audience. SPD has made obviously they've made like great efforts to try to recruit new officers. Like they've done the what do they call that when it's like a sidestep? You in another law enforcement agency, but
the lateral move.
The lateral move.
Yeah.
They've said like, hey, if you have law enforcement experience, we got a $50,000 signing bonus if you come over here. You would think that would draw a lot of folks, but they've still been struggling to figure out how to get people, retain people. Is that a unique Seattle problem?
If my take on this, it's you ever heard the term "the fish rots from the head back"?
I haven't, but it makes sense.
That's an old world saying. It's a leadership problem.
Yeah.
It's a matter. Our 8th police chief in 10 years just got ridden out of town on a rail.
That's not good.
So it's the culture of the Seattle Police Department. It's not just the leadership of SPD. I'm not going to hang this on Chief Barnes, or any of his predecessors.
I mean, legally, we can't hang anything on him anymore because he's been sent away.
But it's
not his fault anymore.
It's the culture of the department itself. We've had so many stories of members of the command chain who have had issues with lawsuits against the department for sexual harassment or discrimination. You've had impropriety alleged against leadership. You've had the community itself being very anti-law enforcement, it felt, for a long time.
Yeah.
So when you're an officer deciding where to, have your career, $50,000 signing bonus sounds great, and a culture that is growing. It seems like Chief Barnes had it moving in the right direction by all accounts, but then here we go again with a chief we can't count on. Somebody really wasn't what they purported to be in public. Then couple that with, other communities around the area, whether it's Federal Way or Pierce County or wherever else, Bellevue, are also poaching these officers from SPD.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, those are communities that, appreciate perspective, appreciate the police departments.
One of the fastest growing counties for, at least for people moving to, and then I would imagine also, I know a bunch of people who work in law enforcement up in Snohomish County, but it's Snohomish County.
You bet.
People look directly north and they go, hey, you know what? Maybe the signing bonus is a nice thing, but you're going to be in an environment that is your day-to-day, and then you look at that for the next 25-year career.
How much house can you buy for that salary in Seattle as opposed to Snohomish County or Pierce County or all these peripheral outlying areas, right? What schools your kid's going to be in?
Yeah.
What kind of community you're going to be a part of?
Although I have one of my neighbors is a cop down south, but he lives up north, and so I know that that's popular too. They're happy to commute.
Yeah, they're happy
if they need to.
Yeah.
But ideally, if you had a short commute to work, like anybody, if you can get a short commute, it just makes your life easier.
In a department that's got solid, steady leadership, in a community that glad to see your face.
Yeah.
Right. All those factors.
Now, would any of those things describe SPD right now?
No,
probably not.
If you got a hang of, they've expanded recruitment, they've expanded training, new facilities, all these things. They're doing all the things from a, blueprint, nuts and bolts perspective, doing all the right things. But when you have, controversy after controversy after embarrassing episode after embarrassing episode, what kind of culture do you have? What to offer potential officers, or retain the ones that you have?
Yeah.
Like Jason Speaks points out, almost as many are leaving as coming in the door. We're begging for a neutral push on the numbers, not the projected numbers.
Yeah, you want more.
Yeah, well,
the key is you want more than last year.
We are the lowest per capita represented from law enforcement officers, LEOs
in the nation, right?
Yes.
This is a great question for the audience. 888-973-5476. This will be our question of the day. Why do you think Seattle, particularly, has such a tough time attracting new talent and retaining officers that are currently there? There's a lot of things that play into it. Sure. I do think also, when you look at a situation, I think you're probably close to the mark on the leadership part of it. They've been all over the board. Who was the guy that was just before Barnes? It
Diaz.
was Diaz.
Yeah.
You had all the Diaz stuff, then you have the Barnes stuff, and then you have a very, very abrupt, very big change in City Hall leadership. You have
absolutely.
You have
right.
Katie Wilson,
right.
who is in charge of the head of your department, essentially. That's like, to me, if I was a young officer or I was a young law enforcement, recruit, you think about being under the umbrella of Katie Wilson's leadership, if you can call it that, that would be something that I would go like, you know what? Bellevue's looking pretty good.
Right.
Snohomish is looking pretty good.
Absolutely. So the question is, why can't SPD get and keep cops? Or maybe if it was you, occupations outside law enforcement, right? Is there a job that you would take even though leadership kind of ain't up to par? What would stop you from, if it was all the money you ever wanted?
How much is that affecting your
decision?
Yeah. Interesting. 888-973-5476. All right, when we come back, this is really fascinating. All that NIL stuff, the name, image, and likeness stuff that happens with college, it's thrown a weird wrench into getting players who want to strive to play in the NFL, because now they are no longer financially motivated to get out of college. Now, in some cases, so the Seahawks just waived a player, and his plans are, we'll tell you next, it's very interesting, and I didn't even know this was legal to do in college football, but it sounds like it is. We'll talk about that next, and tied into that, there's this really fascinating article about travel sports, and I was just talking with some friends recently whose kids are like fully into travel sports right now.
Okay, travel teams, right.
Travel teams. And you're kind of either one way or the other on travel teams. I'd love to get some thoughts on that from you folks. All right, stick around. Be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Sunset Auto Family.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, 3 to 7.
The media's in the passenger seat. The government's driving the bus. Problem is, I don't know how the government gets people's trust back, and I don't know how the media gets the trust back as well. We've become a low-trust society. I don't know if we're as bad as the former USSR or Russia is now. Truth is whatever anybody pays it to be, and somebody wants to believe it for whatever reason somebody wants to believe it.
Watch live or later on the John Curley Show's YouTube channel.
Integrity Roofing and Construction have been serving and supporting the Puget Sound communities for 10 years. If your roof is aging, if you got storm damage, just ready for an upgrade, now's the perfect time to schedule your free consultation, free video inspection. They use products that last longer and perform better. And Integrity's team, they bring full transparency. You know exactly what your home needs and what it's going to cost before you pay a dime. With locations from Issaquah to Sequim and Everett to Gig Harbor, they are everywhere you need them to be, close to you. Visit integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com and book an estimate today. Integrity RC, where doing the right thing matters.
Hello, sweltering Seattle. John Curley here. Is your home staying cool? Are you losing sleep because it's just too hot? At Home Comfort Alliance, the goal is not to sell you a new system. It's to fix the one that you have. Repair first, replace only if it truly makes sense, saving you time and money. If your system's done, a heat pump gives you both cooling and heating for year-round comfort. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue, with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single-family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, LLC, and MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
A dark night, a quiet suburb. But for one family, danger lurks just downstairs.
Oh, no. That's just my husband getting a midnight snack.
Guilty. But
We have Xfinity Shield. It has a built-in Wi-Fi feature that detects movement without cameras.
well, what they didn't know is that an even bigger threat lurks online. A hacker.
Actually, Xfinity Cybersecure protects our connected devices, too.
Okay, fine. But what they didn't see coming
Is that these features are included with our Wi-Fi? We did. Kind of the whole point.
well, this one's not getting a sequel.
What if protecting your home and devices could be drama-free? Introducing Xfinity Shield, with Wi-Fi features designed to give you peace of mind. Visit xfinity.com/shield to learn more. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Xfinity Internet and compatible equipment required.
At Carrier, we know that a comfortable home is a happy one. Whether it's with innovative breakthroughs in heating and cooling efficiency, or with different ways to control your home's temperature and air quality, we are always imagining new ways to make your home totally comfortable.
Turn to the experts and let your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer improve your home's comfort and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find an expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Nate Connors. What does Monday's Supreme Court ruling mean for your ballot in November? For now, Washington voters should not see any changes. The High Court this week lifted one of two injunctions blocking the president's mail voting mandate, but did not rule on whether the order itself is constitutional. Washington Secretary of State Steve Hobbs says there are still major questions about the voter information states could be required to provide.
We got to go with what the rule says. I mean, that's what we got to play with. And my worry is kind of the background operational stuff that happens with elections, right? It's like, what are you going to do with that data? How are you going to secure the data?
Another injunction still blocks the changes while Washington, Oregon, and other states prepare a new court challenge to the president's order. The USS Abraham Lincoln could soon have a new home in Bremerton. According to the Kitsap Sun, the aircraft carrier is currently headed toward a port call in Thailand after spending more than 200 days at sea. Once its extended deployment is over, the Lincoln is expected to return to the U.S., and Navy leaders have previously indicated Bremerton could become its new home port. Well, happy birthday to the National Park Service. The agency turns 110 today, and Washington residents can celebrate with free entrances to national parks. That means no entrance fee today at Mount Rainier or Olympic National Parks. Just remember, other fees, including camping and permits, are not covered. Seattle's new bus-only lane on Denny Way is officially in service, and some drivers aren't happy.
It really sucks. It creates more traffic. We already have traffic with 2 lanes.
Commuters like Daniel Topp are taking a different perspective. He knows Route 8 can be late often, so he plans for it.
I know when I need to leave a little extra time.
But he says Denny's dedicated bus lane will help 7,000 riders that use the route daily.
Peace of mind in seeing the city kind of moving towards a more transit-centric future.
In September, SDOT will also put money towards bus trips on Route 8, which uses Denny, all from the Seattle Transit Measure, which expires in early 2027.
That's KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha reporting. A Vancouver, Washington trivia champion is back on the national stage.
What is Palatine?
Right. Yogesh.
What is Scratch?
Scratch is right. A dominant game from Yogesh.
Yogesh Rott returns tonight for Season 4 of ABC's Jeopardy Masters. Rott is the reigning Masters champion and will face 5 other elite players competing for a $500,000 grand prize and the Trebek Trophy. The tournament premieres tonight at 8 p.m. on ABC. A look at Wall Street, where stocks are on the rise. The Dow up 143, S&P 500 up 17, and the NASDAQ up 120. And now a check on your traffic. Light volumes across the region this afternoon. Heading into Seattle, South 5 is a little crowded there in the U District in the downtown. Linwood to Seattle, less than 20 minutes. North 5, scattered backups on the West Seattle Bridge or the Ship Canal Bridge. 15 minutes to clear this. And we do have some heavy backups at the Hood Canal Bridge due to a recent marine crossing. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Text APP to 888-973-5476 and download the app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. Well, could today be our last visit with temps in the 80s? Quite possibly. 86 this afternoon and mostly sunny, mixed with a layer of wildfire smoke. Morning clouds, otherwise mostly sunny, and 78 tomorrow. Clouds, scattered showers, and 73 Thursday, 74 and cloudy Friday. 80 and sunshine in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hey, Nate.
Welcome back to the show.
The Jeopardy master from Vancouver, Washington, right?
Yes, sir.
Yogesh, is it Rott?
R-A-U-T.
R-A-U-T, Rott. He's playing for the Trebek Trophy, which is lovely and fitting, right? The Trebek Trophy.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Is it a big gold mustache? What is it? I'm sorry. I couldn't resist, man. I would.
Too soon.
No,
No,
you
it's
kidding
not.
me? That's love and respect.
Listen, if I know anything about Alex, he would have loved that
Loved
show.
the mustache was it, man.
What's the guy's name? His name is Rott?
Yogesh Rott. R-A-U-T.
Yogesh Rott?
Yogesh. Y-O-G-E-S-H. If I'm mispronouncing, I apologize.
Yogesh Rott.
Rott. R-A-U-T. Yeah. Good luck.
Good for him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, good. Best of luck.
Tough game, buddy.
Speaking of tough games, this is NFL football is tough, man. To make it onto a team, there's a couple of stories in the NFL I found there was we don't have time to get into this, so I'll just stick with the Seahawks. The Seahawks are waiving a player who was a standout at Oregon State.
OSU, yep.
He had 2,168 rushing yards in his final 2 seasons at Oregon State.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Anthony Hankerson. Tried out for the Seahawks, but they're waiving him. I think he played a little bit in that Titans game that they lost to.
Got like 20-some carries, I think, in the preseason game. Maybe 10 yards, 5 carries, if I read right. He played 2 years at Colorado, then transferred to OSU.
Okay.
Went undrafted. Got claimed by the Dolphins, or he didn't get claimed by. He tried out for the Dolphins and got cut in August. And he showed up at Seahawk camp.
They picked him up.
Tried him out in the preseason game. He got cut yesterday. But because of a court ruling, he's still got a 5th year of college eligibility under his belt.
So he's going to go back to Oregon State? Is that the deal?
Well, no, he's going to enter the transfer portal.
So he'll play somewhere. It may not be Oregon State.
He gets to shop his skills around a little bit.
So my understanding of playing in the NFL was if you start taking pro money, you no longer are eligible to play in college football, which was always the trade-off. It's like, well, I got to... Some of that kind of changed with the NIL because you can still make money, or you can make money in college. So it wasn't quite the desire to like get into the NFL as quickly as possible while you're still healthy to play.
That's exactly the story here.
But I still thought that the rule was if you were a professional player, you cannot go back to being a collegiate player.
Well, I talked to Bump a little bit, Bump and Stacy. I talked to Bump
Sister
a little bit
Station
today.
710 Sports. Got it.
He said, look, he never accepted the signing bonus when the Hawks picked him up as an undrafted free agent. So he didn't accept any money from the NFL. He's allowed to use the per diems, the stipends that they give players in camp to help,
pay for food
and whatnot. Yeah,
or whatever else. Because
Uber
they kind
money
of provided all of that.
They really do. But he didn't accept his signing bonus. Didn't take that check from the Seahawks. So he retains his amateur status.
So
with regard to the NCAA guidelines,
he must have had some insight that this was at least a possibility. He must have talked this out with his agent. If he said, "Hey, by the way, don't cash that check. Don't take that money."
Yeah, that's good. That's good management. That's good advice. Because if he makes a roster in the NFL, and he still has to be, I think he can be claimed by waivers from another team.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how that impacts his ability to go back to college.
Once that clears, he can enter the transfer.
He'd probably
portal.
make about $700K if he was a bottom of the league minimum undrafted rookie on an NFL roster. But if he goes back to the portal for NIL money, he can make a couple $1 million a year probably. Playing NIL, playing college sports and getting some NIL jingle.
Isn't that what you would do?
If you're a guy who maybe is on the bubble of making a roster or not, these guys have the smallest limited earning time of any pro athlete. NFL players do.
It's like 3 years.
Right. So on average, yeah. So if you can make money in college doing the NIL thing, why wouldn't you do that for your family?
It really is a game changer. I mean, that is it's quite a game changer because now nobody stays at the same college anymore. They play like 1 or 2 years and they go where the getting's good.
Yeah.
And they go play somewhere else.
A lot of people think money's ruining the game from that point. But there was always the question that these guys are given their health, their time, they're earning billions and billions of dollars in college football. And the players get a free college education is nothing to sneeze at.
But it's kind of something to sneeze at when you think about how much the NCAA was getting, and all these colleges.
And NIL you're not being paid to play. Because I asked Bump about that too. He said NIL is a marketing budget.
Yeah.
It's your likeness, your image, your name.
Like
it's your jersey number.
A school might recruit somebody like, who's the quarterback that had all the crazy stuff?
Williams.
For UW?
Williams.
Okay, so the school will pay him, what is he going to make, $4 million playing for UW?
$4 million, yeah.
Now, they're not paying him to play. They're paying him to show up at like booster events and things like that. Is that right?
They're paying him for his name, image, and likeness because they can sell jerseys with his number on it.
Yeah, but they're also like, hey, it would be good for you
to make public appearances.
You're going to make some appearances. Yeah. All of that is probably contractually negotiated, so he knows exactly what he's got to show up for.
It's marketing money. It's not football money.
That's a tricky gray area.
It really is, man.
The interesting thing about that is it keeps more players with high-level talent in the college system, even if they are switching around to different schools. It keeps them in there, at least they're motivated by money to stay in for longer, which is good for the game of college.
And hopefully it's good for the game of college, and maybe a few more guys get a degree and hang out.
Yeah,
because there's got to be some kind of life after football. Right?
That's true, but if you're making $4 million a year, like you're not going to make that much with whatever degree you get.
Right, that's true.
But yes, you're right. It's great to get
sports medicine. You're bending some other guy's knee around in the afternoon. That's not going to matter.
It's great to get your degree. Yeah. I highly recommend it. However, they want to make some money. Can we jump into this other topic because this is kind of it's in the same universe.
Sure.
It's sports and money that I want to talk about real fast. There's this really interesting article, and it was in New York Magazine?
Yeah, this is the travel teams.
The travel teams, which is really like my oldest is 11. I have an 11, a 9, tomorrow, a 7-year-old, and then a 2-year-old. So my oldest 2 kids are pretty into sports, and my 7-year-old is ramping up. And what we're watching is the separation, especially for my 11-year-old, that's now happening with the group of core friends that he's been playing the different leagues with for a number of years now. We're watching his parents are making one of two decisions. It's either like to stay in these local, Boys and Girls Club leagues or switching over to the private, for-profit.
Is it the elite level? Is that what they call that level? Travel teams?
Travel teams.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And these things they cost a lot of money. And the time, I was talking with a friend of mine the other day. 2 of his sons were just made it onto 2 different travel teams. 5 nights a week for each kid.
Yeah.
And what a massive family commitment that is.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And that's not even counting, that's 5 nights a week of practice. Then you have weekends of travel.
We say travel, it's out of state often.
A lot of times.
Yeah, Eastern Washington, out of state, yeah.
So what I want to talk about when we get back, I'm going to read you some of this article. It's like some of the facts they have in here are kind of crazy, but also I'm interested, from listeners, is this a decision that you're having to make with your kids? Because there's a lot of parents who are like, well, if I don't go, kind of keeping up with the Joneses thing, if I don't put my kids against the best competing kids, if that's in the travel league, even though it's very expensive, am I denying them some future opportunity because they're not playing against the best of the best?
Or is that just what your parents are being told?
Or is that just... it's very confusing. And these parents, we all feel very guilty about it. Let's dig into that when we get back. It's a good article. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. 888-973-5476. Stick around.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
I want a woman. I want a big girl.
See the hysterical Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias when he takes the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Saturday, August 29th at 5:30 and 9:30 p.m.
This way, we both can agree on the temperature of the thermostat.
He's sold out stadiums around the world, and now he's coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on August 29th. Get tickets before they're gone to laugh out loud with Gabriel Iglesias at muckleshootcasino.com.
You've worked hard, saved diligently, and now retirement is on the horizon. But will your nest egg go the distance? With rising cost and uncertain markets, there's no time for oversimplified plans. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on Wash and Wax, you can get 3 Meguiar's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. If your air conditioner is barely hanging on, CM Heating has one of the best offers I've heard this summer. Right now, you can get any size high-efficiency AC system for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront cost. And here's the game changer. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program includes lifetime repairs, annual maintenance, and even filters at no additional charge ever. Go to cmheating.com and schedule your free estimate online today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Right now, save $50 on any AC service at Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Honest pricing, guaranteed work, 16 family-owned locations, and no appointment needed. Stay cool this summer. Bucky's.com.
Want to see the defending Super Bowl champion Seahawks open the 2026 season against the Patriots September 9th?
KIRO Newsradio is giving away 4 tickets.
Holy catfish! All you have to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app and enter.
You can enter once a day from August 25th through August 31st to boost your chances.
Full details at mynorthwest.com/win.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
All right, welcome back to the show. We are talking right now about travel teams. You played a lot of sports as a kid.
I did.
Was this a thing back then, or were you guys pretty much stay local, play against other kids that you go to school with?
My last year before I got into high school was a travel team for football.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that culture back then like? Because now you're essentially managing your kids' quote professional career.
It was nothing like
you're
today's.
posting videos of them on Instagram for scouts. You're doing all these different things.
You got personal trainers.
100%.
Yeah, you got specialized coaching classes and clinics that kids go to. For me, it was nothing. It was just a team that traveled, and everybody in the league I played in knew about this other squad, the American Legion squad.
Yeah.
And their coach came and saw us play and asked me and another guy on my team if we wanted to play for his team next year. We traveled into Virginia and Pennsylvania. And West Virginia to play travel, a little travel schedule. People came to play us.
How many days a week were your parents investing into this travel team?
None. I mean, none. Literally, because we practiced really close to my home, and I traveled 5 times that year.
Okay.
So it wasn't like these.
It wasn't every weekend.
I'm reading this article from the New York Magazine about what these parents are going through, and I was peripherally aware of this.
Yeah.
Having some friends of my kids who played sports but saw the better teammates get lifted out of these rec leagues, the local leagues you're mentioning.
Here's the thing. They have always identified young, talented kids and said, hey, you know what? They might benefit from a more competitive league. They might benefit, I played with 2 kids growing up in baseball that from a very early age, people said, these guys have talent. Both of those guys end up playing in the majors. And it was pretty evident as a kid, like nobody was surprised when those guys went on to play in the majors. And because you could see these kids, and they had, they did the academy stuff, they did all that stuff.
Right.
But for most of us, it was like, hey, you played the baseball season. Year-round baseball was kind of becoming a thing where you would figure out how to play, even though we live in the Pacific Northwest. You're playing for at least 3/4 of the year. My parents never really got into that. But now that is like quickly becoming the norm. The difference is they're no longer identifying kids who have extreme talent. They're now looking for families who can afford just to pay the fees.
There's so many opportunities for kids to join these elite
who have no
teams.
hope of in the future. Now, I'm not to say that some kid can't ignite some passion and then through hard work and determination, but it's not based on talent or skill anymore. It's just like, hey, do you have $7,000 that you're willing to spend and every weekend for the next 7 months to follow your kid around and 5 nights a week? And so then the question to parents is it a meaningful trade-off for you if you're just eating up all of your family time? I mean, time is precious.
And financial resources too.
And the financial resources.
My cousin has 2 kids, and they looked at this, Drew, their son, great baseball player, first baseman, pitcher. He traveled elite baseball teams, and they traveled all over the place for tournaments, with coaches, blah, blah, blah. They did it because they knew the cost of sending a kid to college.
And so they were making an investment hoping that this would turn into a college scholarship.
Yes. And for Drew, it did. He just got signed to play, and he started a little JUCO in the Maryland area.
Sure.
Just got signed to play for a college in Missouri, who's a pretty much a baseball powerhouse.
And he's
getting
a
full ride.
For
he's
free.
getting a full ride in college, and so they probably dropped. I can't imagine, but
a lot.
40, 50 grand over the course of this kid's youth coming up, between costs and trainers and travel and all these things. But the cost of a 4-year college education these days,
but the statistics would say that that's a very unlikely story.
Yeah. Well, but that's what parents are sold on. That's what parents.
It's like, if you
that's
come
the deal
here,
parents make.
we're going to help you figure out how to get your kid to the next level.
And like you talked about this mom in the story from the New York Magazine, she's got professional photographers for filming her kids.
That's the thing.
Because they're using their Instagram accounts for recruiting for schools.
Listen to this. The mom says this. This is so sad, because I understand the desire of parents to want to give your kids everything. She says, I never want my kids to look back and say, I didn't do everything I could to help them live their dreams. She has hired professional photographers to take action shots of her 12 and 13-year-olds' Instagram accounts. The platform has become a recruiting tool, and now they've both asked her to pay for personal trainers. I mean, the average cost, I looked into this, the average cost is about $3,000 to $7,000, depending on the level of travel that you're doing with these teams.
Annually.
That's a lot of money. I mean, it's a great deal of money, and we've got we're going to read some of these a little bit later in the show. We've got a lot of text responses from parents who have already had to navigate this.
Yeah.
Or have decided, hey, we're not going for this. Very interesting stuff. All right, we got a lot more coming up. 1 o'clock rundown is coming up next. Top stories coast to coast. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear G and Ursula.
It's got to be a white man that I'm voting for in 2028.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
Kamala Harris, I'm not voting for you. AOC, I ain't voting for you. We can't take no more chances. It's going to be a white man that I'm voting for in 2028.
And I think
to
that's
try
so
to win
sad
back.
without even knowing.
If you think that there's somebody that you believe that can win in 2028, you let me know.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula Show on YouTube and watch live or later.
It's Jonathan here from DUI Heroes, and I'm here today with a teenager who's just about to get her driver's license, and she's got some questions for me about driving, alcohol, and how to not end up in my office.
If I get pulled over and I have been drinking, can I ask for a parent to come and help me?
Unfortunately, no. What you can do is ask to speak with an attorney. And you know what? I'm a parent, which means if you call my office, you're going to get me or one of my other associates, and most of us are parents. Most of us know exactly what to do and exactly what to say to make sure that you're protected and we can get you home safe as quickly as possible. So the smart thing to do is simply ask the officer to talk to an attorney as soon as you possibly can. You're already in the situation. Give us a call and let's try not to make it worse. That was a great question. And if you or any of your friends find yourselves this summer in contact with law enforcement, please give us a call at 1-800-DUI-HERO or online at DUIHeroes.com.
Have you been putting off remodeling your kitchen because of the stress, mess, and cost? Stop waiting. Heritage Homecraft makes it so easy and affordable to update your kitchen. Hi, Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. We're teaming up with KIRO News Radio to give you a chance to win the Fall Kitchen Facelift. It's your chance to win $5,000 towards your kitchen refacing project, plus a $500 Visa gift card for new kitchen gadgets. For full contest rules and to enter, visit mynorthwest.com/win.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single-family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, LLC at MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 31st, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years for new Xfinity customers. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Tributes are pouring in for Dolly Parton. The country music legend, songwriter, and philanthropist died today. Her publicist says at home in Nashville, Tennessee. Parton was known for her massive hits over 6 decades, including I Will Always Love You, along with Jolene. Parton paved the way in the music world and also turned her music success into a learning ground. Her nephew, Brian Seaver, today says the family will continue her work.
Generations of singers, songwriters, musicians, and dreamers from every walk of life and across every continent. By her example, we believe that anything was possible.
Parton also went on to win the hearts in Hollywood, acting in 9 to 5 and also Steel Magnolias and other films. She also used her name and fame for charity and opened Dollywood in Tennessee's Smoky Mountains. The family did not disclose the cause of death. Dolly Parton was 80. This is ABC News. Pennsylvania's health department says 2 people have died due to measles, the first deaths in the state from measles in 35 years. Pennsylvania's Governor Josh Shapiro now urging people to get vaccinated.
Both of the individuals were from Lancaster County, and both were unvaccinated. We hope and we pray that those deaths will be the last.
The CDC shows a record number of measles cases nationally for a second straight year, with 2,700 cases reported across 45 states. Health departments reporting the vast majority of those cases involve those not vaccinated. There could soon be a quicker way to get around LA. An air taxi will be hovering around the city during the 2028 Olympics. Once approved by the FAA, it will fly between downtown LA and several other locations. And the cost of the flight is expected to be about the same as a luxury Uber ride. I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Washington superintendent pushes to honor the late Dolly Parton. More on that straight ahead. First, a check on your traffic. Traveling this afternoon has been easy breezy so far. Not much slowing you down. If you're heading into Seattle from the north end, South 5 is a little crowded from the U District in the downtown. Linwood to Seattle, less than a 20-minute trip. North 5, scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge at the Ship Canal. South 405 gets a little crowded as you head through Factoria, nothing heavy. And North 405 has scattered slowing between South Center and the Renton S-curves. Tacoma to Olympia, wide open. This report brought to you by your Seattle Mariners. Don't miss out on fireworks nights presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the Sing-Along Show September 4th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Nate Connors. Washington superintendent says the best way to honor Dolly Parton is to restore state funding for the Imagination Library she championed. Chris Rakedahl shared a stage with Parton in 2023 when the free book program expanded statewide.
It starts as picture books and it starts as, pretty simple text, but by the time they're 5 years old, you're really getting a very prepared reader for school, and we know what that means long term. Like, higher graduation rates, higher college participation rates, better outcomes.
The legislature slashed its share of Imagination Library funding last session. Private donations have kept the program alive, but some communities lost access. Rakedahl says he will lobby lawmakers to bring the money back. Airbnb is putting $1 million toward protecting Washington's environment. The company says it's the largest community investment it's made in the state. The money will support conservation groups, responsible recreation, and climate-resilient forests, including projects on the Olympic Peninsula and across western Washington. 3 generations of one family are among the 5 people killed outside Portland in a case that later led police to Enumclaw. KIRO News Radio's Tim Hull with the update.
Investigators say suspected killer Benjamin Parker lived at the rural property and was dating 26-year-old Stella Kimsey. Stella was killed along with her mother, grandmother, best friend, and her best friend's partner.
Somebody snapped. Something happened. There's more to this story that, the people in the community just don't know.
That Forest Grove resident talking with Portland TV station KPTV. Investigators have not released a motive, said how the victims died, or revealed where on the property they were found. The 36-year-old Parker was found dead from an apparent suicide Sunday in Enumclaw. Authorities have not said why he ended up in King County or whether he had any ties to the area. Tim Hull, KIRO News Radio.
A former Arlington police officer is heading to prison after pleading guilty to possessing child sex abuse material. The Everett Herald reports 41-year-old Dustin Bartlett was sentenced last Friday to 46 months in Island County Superior Court. His girlfriend found the images on his computer back in May, and he allegedly assaulted her to stop her from accessing them. Bartlett had been on the force 8 years before being fired in June. King County Metro is expanding its on-demand transit service to Auburn and Federal Way. Metro Flex launches next week, offering rides within designated service areas for $3. Riders can book through the Metro Flex app or by calling 206-258-7739. The service connects neighborhoods with jobs, appointments, and major transit hubs, including Auburn Station and Federal Way Transit Center. And now check out your KIRO News Radio weather. 86 and mostly sunny today with a layer of wildfire haze out there. Wednesday starts off cloudy, turning mostly sunny with 78 for the high. Thursday brings in a few showers in 73, 74, and mostly cloudy Friday. Sunny and hazy and 82 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Time for the 1 o'clock rundown. Top stories, coast to coast. We got a lot of stuff to get to. We're going to talk Dolly Parton in just a second. She did pass away. The family announced. Was that just this morning they made this announcement?
Yes.
Very sad, but it gives us a chance to kind of look back on her career, which was just spanned 6 or 7 decades.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty amazing, just beloved by everybody. We're also going to talk about the Supreme Court ruling, which came down right at the end of our show yesterday, so we didn't really have a chance to dig into that. We've now got responses from Governor Bob Ferguson, Washington State Attorney General, what that means for voters in Washington. And then finally, we're also going to talk in the third story about... We talked about the tariff wars.
Yeah, trade wars with Canada, yeah.
Well, Trump is at least considering firing another shot across the border.
Trump is trumping.
Yes, he's doing something very Trumpy with Lake Ontario. And I'm just going to leave that there for a minute. I'm going to let you guess. If you had to think about Trump and Lake Ontario, what might Trump do with the name Lake Ontario? We'll talk about that in a couple minutes.
Give it away.
It's
our cherry on top of the rundown.
It's a fun one. Yeah. All right. Real fast. Thank you guys so much. We got a ton of responses. We'll get into some of these in just a little bit about travel teams.
Yeah.
Really, a lot of people have some big thoughts on travel teams, which we talked about at the end of last hour. And I think I'm in my head, because I've already felt this myself. My wife and I have made the decision not to do travel teams.
Yeah.
One, we just have too many kids, and we cannot give them all the same level of travel team attention because they're all 2 years apart, except my youngest, who's 5 years younger than everyone else.
There's only 2 you, and you're outnumbered.
I would have to hire. Not only can I not afford it,
right?
I don't want to afford it.
You have to clone yourself.
Yes.
To be a travel team dad.
I would have to wrangle in grandparents.
Yeah.
I'd have to hire a driver just to get my kids to these things.
That's before coaching, physical therapy.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't forget about the PT cost.
Right.
It's really
training.
crazy.
I'm physical training, not therapy. Sorry.
Yeah. We'll get it. We'll read some of those. You guys had a lot of really great responses on this.
We feel your pain, folks.
And some people who've done it and have been very happy they've done it. So we'll talk about a little bit of that. But let's start with Dolly Parton. I'm gonna play you. It's kind of long, and I'll try to fast forward through a little bit of this because we don't need to hear the entire thing. But her nephew's a guy named Brian Seaver. He put out an announcement that I guess she asked him to make a couple years ago. She kind of said, I guess he was her head of security. And Dolly Parton never had any kids, right?
I don't know. She did not.
Yeah, she didn't have any kids. And so I bet you in a way, I mean, she was Aunt Dolly to this guy, but it sounds like they were like very close. I mean, almost de facto kid. He was head of her security, as I guess his dad before him was also for Dolly Parton. So she kept it in the family, which is really cool. And so he put out this announcement, and, you know, if you get to the end of your life and you're 80 years old and then you have people that you love saying things like this about you, I think you've done a pretty good job.
Hey everyone, my name is Brian Seaver, son of Cassie Parton, and I'm representing the Parton and Owens family today, announcing the passing of my Aunt Dolly Rebecca Parton Dean, sister, sis, Aunt Granny to one generation and Gigi to the next. This video announcement is something Dolly asked of me years ago, before I fully absorbed it as a future reality. As her head of security for more than 2 decades, a role my father Larry held before me, I have imagined the heaviness of this moment, but haven't truly felt it until now. It is an honor that is mixed with absolute pride and great sadness. But sadness lies with us, not with Dolly. Dolly has lived in the light and is in the arms of Jesus, surely met by Carl, her parents, and countless others who have watched her and longed for her to meet them in the heavens. I first went on the road with Dolly as a kid, getting a taste of the road life in the early 1980s. Dolly opened doors not just for me, but for her entire family to reach the potential we didn't even know was possible. Dolly also opened doors for generations of singers, songwriters, musicians, and dreamers from every walk of life and across every continent. By her example, we believed that anything was possible. She never saw a door she couldn't open, and the doors she opened made and changed history. My family and I have shared a lifetime of beautiful memories with Dolly, but so have you. She has always been on your television, your record player, your CD, and on your phone playlist, becoming an extended part of your family whether you liked it or not. Our family and the team she has entrusted with her legacy will work diligently to ensure her spirit will live with us forever. Dolly was a farmer, just like her daddy. He farmed the soil, she farmed songs and happiness. Dolly called me and said she wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest. Rest in peace, Aunt Dolly, Aunt Granny, Gigi. May God bless Dolly Parton, and may God bless you all. She will always love you.
Isn't that a sweet message?
I don't know how he got through that. I almost couldn't get through listening.
That was probably take 5 or something.
Beautiful. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's really nice. And when you think about the where she came, I was looking at pictures of her child. They have all these things out now. You can do all the different websites. It's probably the #1 story in the world. That's why we're doing it here on the top of the 1 o'clock rundown. When you look at the pictures of where she came from, I mean, it's funny because we're watching right now in the family. We're watching Little House on the Prairie. There's a new Netflix one. Have you seen it yet? Okay, so we watched that, and it's like 8 or 10 episodes. It's okay, but it inspired us to go back and rewatch the original.
Sure.
Which is just phenomenal. Like the Michael Landon.
That's quality American television.
It's
right
so
there,
good.
Buddy. Yeah, it is.
Literally the house that they build, almost like the little shanty Saudi house.
Yeah.
That's what Dolly Parton grew up in. But she grew up in that in like the would have been the 1950s that she was living there, late 40s, early 50s, if she's 80. She's now a lady who, she passed away. She was worth $650 million. She had Dollywood. She's got the $300 million book program that she donated, all these things.
Right.
She wrote these super famous songs, and it all started in this tiny little, basically 1-bedroom, what looks like a Little House on the Prairie cabin. And she did the entire thing with a lot of grace, and she didn't go crazy. Everybody goes crazy these days, all the famous people, and she somehow kept it together.
She really was a rock of, I mean, it's funny, the industry grew around her and she just rode the swell. It never consumed her, never overtook her.
Why do you think
right?
that is?
Because she remembers where she came from, because she had such humble beginnings, doesn't begin to cover it. I mean, there's no one rose higher from a lower point on the human spectrum.
Raised from an almost poverty.
Not almost,
comparisons.
flat out poverty. The Coat of Many Colors song that she wrote was about, went to school in a patched up, tattered coat that her mom put together, and she was embarrassed to wear it to school.
Oh my gosh!
And her dad, gave her perspective on what it was like to have a coat at all, and have many kids don't, and have a family that cares for you. It's everything people are so quick to forget these days,
those are
man.
those are the things that those are defining core things in her life, and people are so soft these days. Honestly, like we have it so good. Yeah. That's the thing that we were just talking about travel teams. I mean, people investing $7,000 chasing your kid around playing baseball.
And feeling guilty if you can't.
Guilty if you can't. Dolly Parton was glad to have a coat.
Yeah.
I mean, like
well,
there are
once
different.
Her daddy told her.
There are different generations.
Pride is, yeah.
Like I remember my grandma, who my grandma was older than Dolly Parton, because obviously my grandma died like 7 or 8 years ago, and she was 93 when she passed, so she's like 20-something years older than Dolly. But my grandma was a child of the Great Depression, and until her dying day, we could not shop with my grandmother, where she would not pay in cash and count out the pennies that they gave her back to make sure that they didn't shortchange her.
Yeah,
because that was she remembered being a kid when every single penny mattered. And so Dolly Parton, same deal. She remembered just being grateful to have a coat that maybe when she was a kid she was embarrassed by, and then it inspires her entire outlook on life. She's able to write songs about it, which don't happen if you don't have those experiences. And
then, we talked about the Imagination Library. She put over 250 million books into schools and
for free,
for free around the globe, United States, Canada, Australia, Ireland, every state. Because Reichdahl spoke to it, how important it was that kids learn to read early, and she didn't want financial barriers to be financial difficulties to be a barrier for kids learning how to read, because
she's
that led
like
to
the original Derek Zoolander with the kids who can't read good. But better. Then Dolly did it better. She did it better.
Because her dad couldn't read or write, man.
Isn't that crazy?
And she saw how hard his life was because of that, and made sure that no kid had to ever go through that again.
Very inspiring.
She sponsored scholarships, through her Dollywood Foundation, kids in her home state of Tennessee. Every high school in Tennessee has a scholarship available to one of their graduates every year.
Because of her?
Because of Dolly Parton.
Wow. That's cool.
When there was a fire I was reading there was a fire in the Smoky Mountains maybe 10 years ago or so, and she started a fund that paid people who lost everything in these wildfires like $1,000 a month every month until they got back on their feet. It's about being neighborly.
That's cool.
It's about being the best version of yourself so you can help as many people as possible. You talked about the people in her circle that she loved and cared for, and all rose up with her. The rising tide lifts all boats is the old,
Yeah.
But even the people that she would never meet, but still cared about, generations of kids that she would never get a chance to meet.
Yeah.
But she cared enough to invest so much, millions and millions of dollars in philanthropy.
I didn't realize that she was famous from a pretty early age. I mean, like when we think of famous these days, we think of like, oh, you got a big social media following, and maybe that's why it didn't corrupt her in the way that like super famous child stars of the last 30, 40 years kind of ruin their lives. Usually, statistically, you become famous as a kid. Your adult life is not pan out super well because you just never grow up having a normal life. But I was reading this thing. She was pretty well known for singing Appalachian ballads, traditional Appalachian. When she was a young kid, she got a chance to start singing on local radio and television shows when she was 13 years old. Did you know that young?
I didn't realize that.
I
became aware of her television appearances.
She made her debut at the Grand Ole Opry, where she got to meet Johnny Cash. Again, she's like very young at this point. But then beyond just the talent, because she was a talented singer, but
Sure.
I think probably she was an even better writer than she was a singer.
Yeah, but in those days, I mean, we talk about Dolly's image, her look, her curvaceous, busty look, and the big wigs and the rhinestones and all the eyes, the lashes. Even though she was a brilliant writer and a great singer, that's what it took to get noticed in that era of entertainment.
Yeah.
If you want to be at the Grand Ole Opry, you want to be on TV, you had to look the part.
Question for you. You said wigs. Are you telling me that her hair is fake? I don't want to think that any part of Dolly is fake.
No,
Everything was real?
She was very proud about that.
She was very proud about everything being real.
Yeah, no, the wigs. Her wigs are legendary, and she leaned into that. She knew what. I know.
Yeah,
but she leaned to her. I wish I could remember the joke she told. Sound checks at 4, but my wigs have to be there at 1. Something like that. It's
a pretty good joke.
I know I butchered it. But God,
no, it's good. I like
She's
it.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Just sad. Very sad that she passed, but also,
Is there going to be ever again another star of this magnitude that was so universally loved and respected?
No. And I'm not to say that she's the biggest star that's ever passed, but I just mean the level of stardom that she had. I mean, maybe it's so incredibly rare. I mean, you're looking at I could see in many, many, many years just how. But even to be beloved by everybody, she's just beloved by everyone.
Right.
I was gonna throw Taylor Swift in that same conversation as somebody who is just internationally known and very successful. Anything she attempts kind of turns into gold. But I don't know if there's the universal adoration for Taylor Swift. She might be very popular and very well known. I'm not trying to take anything away from her.
I know exactly what you're saying. She's huge, but she's not iconic. Because of it's hard to put into words.
But it's with a different crowd.
Well, because Dolly's life was so much more than entertaining.
Dolly, I would say, is in the same conversation, which I think connects to a different era of entertainment that you would have your Sinatras, your Elvis that you mentioned earlier,
right.
Where it's there's just it's a different era. I just don't know if that type of star, because they were made in a different.
And we're too fragmented now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody's got I don't know all the different stars out there. I mean, very often my kids will be singing a song, and I'm I don't even know where they're getting it because they have no access to the internet.
Right.
And I'm like, who's that? And I have no idea who it is.
Right. But they've got 10 billion downloads or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I've never heard of them.
There was a big star that came into Seattle a couple weeks ago. I'd never heard the name. Sold out Climate Pledge Arena. I was like, who is this?
Laura, who was here?
We don't even know. But that's the thing. There's it's very fragmented, like you were saying. But this different era where, she was on Carson and she was also, just
the Grand Ole Opry and movie screens, and TV screens.
It's very tough to replicate that. Yeah. But maybe they will. I mean, maybe someday everybody will be like, we all followed somebody on an Instagram account. I don't know how it's going to work. Anyway, she will be missed. Rest in peace. That's very sad that she passed away. But obviously, she lived a long life. It's one of those things. It's sad, but it's also, it would have been more sad if she was 60. But she was 80.
No, yes, a life very well lived.
Yeah, very full life. Good for her. Very quickly, favorite Dolly Parton song for you? We should play a little bit of.
Well, it's got to be "I Will Always Love You."
Okay.
I've made a little money.
Well, I would only be in your way, and so I'll go, and yet I know that I'll think of you each step of the way, and I will always love you. I will always.
What else I'm wondering about? I'm listening to this version of the song. Whitney Houston crushed this song.
Yeah.
She was a super powerful singer. Dolly Parton's she's understated.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the vocal range that Whitney Houston does.
Right.
But I do think that when you hear Dolly Parton singing, it's all soul.
Yeah.
She's trying as hard as she can. And that goes a long way with people. A big word that everybody talks about these days is authentic.
Yeah.
She's a very authentic person.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as funny as that is to say, despite the hair and all the other fake things.
Yeah.
She was authentically very fake in those ways, but she, as a person, I think she was just authentic, to the core. And she kind of never forgot that little single one-room shack that she grew up in.
Yeah, amen.
And that comes out in the music, and I think people respond to that. All right, we should just go out on that. Let's not get to the other stuff.
Dolly.
Dolly.
Well done. Yeah.
When we come back, we're going to play, we're going to read a bunch of your responses.
Our question of the day.
Our question of the day. We're talking about SPD, and they're having a tough time holding on to cops. People are either retiring or, I don't know. There's just something going on, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to get your take on why they're having a tough time keeping people around. All right, stick around. We'll get to that next. We'll be right back.
You need, but I will always love you. I will always love you.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear G and Ursula, weekdays 9 to noon.
Starbucks is going to stop covering GLP-1 medications for weight loss. If you're on it, you know that these drugs per month can be like up to $1,000 if you don't have coverage.
When have we ever believed that pharmaceutical companies or any other company is going to make less profit to help the people out?
Watch live or later on the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on Wash and Wax, you can get 3 Meguiar's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Progressive knows that for business owners, vacations hit different. But hey, at least you finally took a vacation. And look at that. You only answered 53 calls, 84 emails, onboarded 1 new hire, and covered for Chris while he's out on paternity leave, and you did it all from a kayak. Because you, my friend, know how to relax. All right, you may not know how to take a day off, but you do know both your personal and business auto insurance needs can be covered in one place with Progressive. So at least that's relaxing, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
A dark night, a quiet suburb. But for one family, danger lurks just downstairs.
Oh, no. That's just my husband getting a midnight snack.
Guilty. But
We have Xfinity Shield. It has a built-in Wi-Fi feature that detects movement without cameras.
well, what they didn't know is that an even bigger threat lurks online. A hacker.
Actually, Xfinity CyberSecure protects our connected devices, too.
Okay, fine. But what they didn't see coming
Is that these features are included with our Wi-Fi? We did. Kind of the whole point.
well, this one's not getting a sequel.
What if protecting your home and devices could be drama-free? Introducing Xfinity Shield with Wi-Fi features designed to give you peace of mind. Visit xfinity.com/shield to learn more. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Xfinity Internet and compatible equipment required.
Tim had always been active, but severe osteoarthritis in his knee eventually took that away.
I was walking 3 or 4 times a week, 2.5 miles. I lost the ability to do that walking.
He went looking for answers.
And they said, we can either operate on the meniscus. The only other option we've got is knee replacement.
But Tim wasn't ready to do that.
Replacement takes 6 to 10 months recovery time. Wasn't interested in doing that.
So instead, Tim chose stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
I heard the doctor on the radio, and he said, well, I think I can fix it. And I said, okay, let's go for it.
And today?
1 to 10, the pain level is around a 1 right now.
So whether it's a hip like I had or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
There are 5 things money can do for you: growth, liquidity, cash flow, protection, and tax advantages. Don't miss an opportunity because your current retirement plan only focuses on 2 or 3 of them. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
It's the Great Summer Sellathon at the Spa Warehouse, and the deals are incredible. When the leaves turn and the temps fall, imagine sinking into your very own saltwater caldera spa. Bubbly, blissful, warm water right in your own backyard. Our Summer Sellathon means massive savings on in-stock models, so owning your dream hot tub is more affordable than ever. Plus, get interest-free financing through 2028. Visit today for the hot tub of your dreams. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Guys, if your energy is down, your workouts feel harder, and your drive isn't what it used to be, it may not be aging. It could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, the first step is simple: a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. We'll review your labs, symptoms, and overall health to determine if testosterone therapy could help improve your energy, strength, and performance. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Revive has helped over 120,000 men since 2011 improve energy, sleep, mood, and confidence. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Get answers and take control of your health. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com. Revive Health. Elevate your vibe. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact Revive for full details.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo, remembering Dolly Parton.
Jolene, Jolene.
An American icon, the country music superstar passed away today. Known for her hits and philanthropy, Dolly Parton visited Tacoma in 2023 when her Imagination Library became a statewide program. It's given away more than 300 million books to children worldwide. She called it the most important work of her life.
We don't have to be so mean to each other. I think common decency and kindness, we're not all supposed to be alike. Remember what they say about variety being the spice of life? But that doesn't mean we can't be good neighbors. We can't be good people.
Parton had disclosed health challenges last fall, and she was also grieving the death of her husband, Carl Dean. The couple was married for nearly 59 years when Dean passed away last year. Dolly Parton was 80. Now to the closing bell reports. With oil prices falling, stocks rose. The Dow gained 160, NASDAQ up 171 today, and S&P 500 gained 24 points. Confidence in the American economy on the decline. Here's ABC's Michelle Franzen.
Americans' confidence in their economy going down again over the last month, dipping to 89.4% in August from 90.2% in July, the lowest level in 7 months. The Conference Board, who collects the consumer confidence data, says concerns over the high cost of rent, groceries, and gas remain some of the biggest impacts for everyday Americans and an issue that remains top of mind heading into the November elections.
You think $5 a gallon for gas is rough? Try living in the remote Alaska village of Shungnak. That's where gasoline is selling for nearly $27 a gallon. Local officials tell the Alaska Beacon low water on a local river has forced emergency air shipments of fuel driving up those costs big time. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 1:33. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Not a whole lot going on out there. We've got one blocking issue. That's South 5 at the Puyallup River Bridge. It's blocking the right lane, and you're backed up to 54th. Heading into Seattle, North 5, scattered backups from the West Seattle Bridge of the Ship Canal, 15 minutes from bridge to bridge. South 5, we're crowded from the U District in the downtown. Linwood to Seattle, 20-minute trip. Over to Kirkland, North 405, you got a brief backup for me between I-90 and Northeast 60th, so don't get discouraged when you run into this. You're going to break free pretty quickly. South 405 crowded as you head through Factoria. Bellevue to South Center, a 15-minute drive. Text APP to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO Newsradio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Heating up today along with some hazy sunshine. Highs today topping out in the upper 80s. Could see 90 in a couple of spots as well. Right now, 82 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. This is 1:30. We get to get into the question of the day. We got a ton of responses on this one. We started the show we talked about Dolly Parton a lot at the start of the show. And then when we got to some more local news, we were talking about how Seattle Police Department has seen 69 separations this year. And let's see, they lost an additional 7 officers since August 11th. And by the end of the year, they're expecting the separations to be, is that 96 officers or something like that? Close to 90 by the end of the year. The point is, they have only added one, basically over this year so far, in the last month, I should say. They've only added one additional officer who could respond to a 911 call, which is not good because 911 wait call times are a problem. 911 call wait times, I should say, are a problem. You also just want to, we've seen it by the Seattle, we've seen it many different things. You want a police presence around to deter people. You don't want to just have them when it's like something has happened, you need to call 911.
Right.
You want cops around so that people know the cops are around. You shouldn't do bad things.
There were 25% less officers on site for the Bite of Seattle this year than last year.
Yeah. And Washington is least, I think we're the last in the nation for law enforcement officers per capita.
That's exactly right.
So we asked you guys a question like, specifically in Seattle, why are they having such a tough time recruiting new officers or keeping existing officers, and how can you possibly fix that? You want to fire away, Spike?
Sure. Fernando in Seattle starts us off. To me, it seems that the force is trending older, and they're having a hard time getting young people to sign up. We might not have a lot of police officers, but we're still one of the safest cities in the nation, and that's a fact.
I don't think that's actually a fact.
We'll look into that.
Yeah.
Bold statement, Fernando.
Yeah. This is from a story just August this time last year, in case these numbers have gotten like way, way, way better. But according to the FBI, 4th worst in the nation for total crime, near triple the national average. Now, a year has passed since this story from Minor Northwest came out.
We did have a year of reduced crime numbers in the state.
Yes.
That's why everybody was so optimistic about
Here's
Keith
the
Barnes.
other thing. And Fernando, you know I love you. A big part of people's experience living in a city, do they feel safe living in the city? A lot of crime statistics are just not being, a lot of crimes are just not even being called into cops, or they're not even being responded to. They don't have cops to respond to these things. We're the least law enforcement state in the nation, like we just said. There's a lot of times where you see crazy stuff happening in a city where you're like, man, it'd be great if there was a cop there to deal with that. And you just kind of let it pass, and you go on your way, and you hope that it doesn't happen to you. So thank you, Fernando, but I'll disagree a little bit. Mark in Nisqually says, it's not just SPD. Lots of police departments are scrambling. Even fire departments are having to get really creative in recruiting good candidates, which is a shame. That's a great job.
It is.
When I was a kid, that was like in the top 5 always of jobs. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? It was like pro athlete, probably a spaceman.
Astronaut.
Fireman would be right up there.
You bet.
A vet would be another
That's cool.
If you liked animals.
I never thought about being a vet, but I love animals. Denison253 says, SPD as an organization has a bad reputation. Other agencies in the area are able to attract lateral transfers.
It's true. 253 says, I'm thinking the fallout from the chop is still hanging over SPD's head.
We didn't mention that earlier today, but I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's just 6 years ago that they surrendered a portion of the city.
Yeah.
And this department looked like a laughingstock.
That is truly, you're
That was
totally right.
Chief Best.
We didn't even talk about it that time. Mayor Jenny Durkin, all of that.
Right.
Literally, they just handed it over to lawlessness, and they ceded the ground.
A whole precinct, right?
Yeah, a block of the city it became a national embarrassment, and I think 253 is right. I think the echoes of that are still being heard.
Trying to dig out, yeah.
And how do you recruit people to hey, come and join the SPD? It's
Seattle?
great.
Yeah.
We got a great chief in place. Oh, not right now. Well, at least our mayor is really strong.
No, not that either. Read John 573s.
Go for it.
John says, it's simple. They're hired to do a job, and then they're told they're not allowed to do that job.
We got a lot of those.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people saying, like, in Seattle, if you're a cop, you're oftentimes going to be looked at in a different way by the people who are in charge from a litigation standpoint. Like, people are not willing to risk their life and the well-being of their family because for just doing the job of being an officer, you might face litigation that you wouldn't face in other cities.
Other departments have your back.
Diana in Seattle says, I'm a liberal Democrat, and I think that two of the major things regarding SPD is the culture of ACAB. Why don't I know what that is?
All cops are.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
She's saying it's the culture of ACAB and the liberal policies our city has towards fentanyl users. I certainly wouldn't want to spend my day dealing with the zombies and then coming home and having half of my neighbors think that I'm bad. She's totally right. I didn't even know that ACAB was a thing.
I had to look it up.
I'm happy that I didn't know that was a thing.
Me too. I feel bad for any officer who has to live like that.
That's horrible.
Brad the Painter says, when you wake up every day and wonder if you're going to be killed or wounded at work today, you at least want to know the people you work for have your back.
That's a big one. I mean, we got that across the board.
Yeah.
Like, do police officers in Seattle feel like somebody has their back?
They're being supported, by their leadership, by the city government. 425
says catch and release, frustrating working conditions. That would also be so. That's another thing. So we've had Seattle Police Officers Guild president Kent Liu on the show. He's like a buddy of the show. That is a frustration with the rank and file. They're sent out there to do the job, to enforce laws, and to police. And then you have local we didn't even talk about this earlier, but if you have a local prosecuting office who's not going to prosecute the crimes that you as a police officer can have an immediate impact in taking off the streets, it would be incredibly difficult to continue going out and doing that job day after day after day. And you're seeing the same people committing the same small petty crimes.
You're being told to not enforce public drug use.
Yeah.
Just,
100%.
Is it because we don't have the numbers? Is it because we're care first, point of view?
The whole thing.
Janet 206 says, why would a person want to be an SPD officer if their hands would be tied behind their backs with their own handcuffs? The signing bonus would lose its luster very quickly once newly recruited officers realize that law enforcement in Seattle can't be accomplished as long as a bumbling failure of a coddle fetish.
With a coddle fetish.
With a coddle fetish remains in charge.
I think they're talking about
talking about the mayor at that point.
You know what is interesting? So I was recently, two of my very good friends, one of them is a current sheriff's deputy, and the other one is a former cop. And now has left. He was a cop. He was a city cop for
SPD?
15 years. Not SPD.
Okay.
No, up north.
Okay.
But he was a city cop for 15 years. He left because it just became too much to bear. He wanted a different life for his family. He started his own business. He's doing great now.
He left law enforcement.
He left law enforcement entirely.
Okay.
And now you're talking about somebody who has invested almost 2 decades of his life, put himself in some very tricky situations.
Sure, every day.
And this is up in Snohomish County, where he was in a city up in Snohomish County where he decided, and I would imagine there's a lot of crossover in the types of things that police are responding to in Snohomish or Edmonds or wherever it might be.
Yeah, it's just
that you might
volume.
see in Seattle.
Yeah, Everett sees it, Tacoma sees it, sure.
But you're having to deal with a part of life that most of us happily cross the street to avoid. And you are the person who has to go and like usher the guy away who's doing something insane because he's having some sort of an attack of drugs, and he's in a totally disheveled state. As you approach him, you have to put on plastic gloves because you don't want to catch anything, and you want to make sure you stay. And that is your day-to-day job.
Then you're criticized because you didn't have enough care in the way you approach this person. And don't get me wrong.
That would be an impossible
I understand
job.
that mental health, assistance is often needed almost in so many cases that law enforcement is the response to.
Sure.
Where healthcare and mental health care is probably what's first and foremost needed.
Imagine that's your day in, day out job.
Every day.
Like you and I get to sit in here and we get to come in here and we get to have spicy conversations about dumb things. Or we just like both glow over Dolly Parton and remember a legend. And we drink great coffee and then we get to go home to our families. These guys carry this stuff home with them.
But it's why we get to go home to our families, because people do the job every day.
Yes, but they're desperately needed. So SPD needs to get their act together. They need to figure out like what's the recruiting problem. And Seattle in general,
let's get good leadership. It all starts with good leadership.
You need very strong leadership in the mayor's office. I don't know if you're going to find it with Katie Wilson, but you need somebody to go like, hey, we're going to plant a flag that we're going to have the best, most cared for, most loved police officers in the nation, and we have their backs. Like, until you can send that message, they're not going to fix this problem.
You're here.
All right. We got a lot more coming up. Let's get into feeding time next, because there's some good stuff that we haven't had a chance to get to yet. Let's check our feeds, see what's being shoved down our throats. We'll bring it to you. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stick around. Be right back.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over... Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, I get so used to hearing our pro teams in town talk about talent acquisition, being the lifeblood of their teams. At IRG, how important is talent acquisition for you?
Brock, talent acquisition is everything. Here at IRG, we are looking for those people that want to be the best and the brightest. Our strength here at IRG is what I call our human capital. And our clinicians here at IRG are great, but we expect greatness. We provide them with ample mentorship opportunities, continuing education, advanced certification payment, in addition to providing Con Ed. When they receive advanced certifications, we also increase their base salary because they've improved themselves as a professional. They've improved their ability to provide great care. And that's what it's all about here at IRG. Great care. We want the best and brightest.
With over 40 convenient locations, IRG is in your neighborhood. Find all the details at irgpt.com.
Jane is a small business owner. Tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
The Total Solutions Advantage. No one does business like Comcast Business.
The more solutions you add, the more you save. Get started today with a qualifying internet package for as low as $60 a month when you add an advanced solution. Plus, new customers, ask how to get up to $1,500 in prepaid cards when you add 2 lines of mobile to a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, tax, and fees extra. Prepaid card offers end 9/13/2026.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Right now, save $50 on any AC service at Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Honest pricing, guaranteed work, 16 family-owned locations, and no appointment needed. Stay cool this summer. Bucky's.com.
Want to see the defending Super Bowl champion Seahawks open the 2026 season against the Patriots September 9th?
KIRO Newsradio is giving away 4 tickets.
Holy catfish! All you have to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app and enter.
You can enter once a day from August 25th through August 31st to boost your chances.
Full details at mynorthwest.com/win.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
All right, welcome back to the show. 1:49, which means it's feeding time. We get to see what the algorithms on social media are feeding us. You and I are very different people. We look at very different things. So what's interesting to you and what's being shoved at you might be different from me. And we thought this would be a fun way to explore that instead of exchanging phones, which nobody wants to do. So what's
your phone is the most biohazard covered element in your life, by the way.
Gross?
I know. Don't.
Do you clean yours?
No.
I wipe. I do a wipe of mine at least once a week. We have wipes in the house. I'll just clean it up.
My phone should be dipped in bleach and acid. It's got to be so just toxic.
You know, the thing is, if it was just me, I don't think I would. I don't want people to think I'm a germaphobe.
Yeah.
But I have a little, I have kids around the house that will come and grab. They come grab my phone. They'll just run around and take pictures of stupid things.
Yeah.
And so their little hands are touching it.
You take your phone in the bathroom.
I try not to. We kind of have a rule.
I try not to too.
We have a rule in the house where it's like, let's not have phones out in those types of places.
But with 2 T's, I do that. Yeah, it's terrible.
Ugh.
But let's talk about our feeds.
Let's talk about our feeds.
Mine was wonderful last night.
What's in your feed? What do you got?
I got this early and often, and it was. I think we have the audio because Cal Raleigh's night last night. His historic.
This was
historic night last night.
I know where you're going.
Came to me a dozen ways from Sunday last night. So play the first.
10 innings. Here's a swing and a high fly ball deep to right field. A towering shot. Harper going back and goodbye baseball. Yeah. Cal Raleigh with a rainmaker. It almost touched the roof of T-Mobile Park. A 2-run rainbow of a home run off the bat of the Big Dumper. His 15th home run of the season. Mariners' second home run here in the bottom of the first inning. And it's now the Mariners 5 and the Phillies 1.
Boy, the crowd needed that.
Yeah.
But even more so, the crowd needed this.
Now the 3-2. Swinging a drive deep to right field. Cal does it again. Goodbye baseball. Into the lower deck and right. What a night for the Big Dumper.
Heck yeah. Waking up.
Yeah, man. And that second home run of the night added Cal to the second place list for all-time Mariners with multiple home run games. He tied Edgar and Buhner last night. They both, all three now just trailed Junior.
Sure.
But he wasn't done for the evening.
We got more?
Yeah.
The 3-1. Swung on, crushed, right field. Has he done it again? It is gone! Cal Raleigh, his first 3-homer game of his career.
Oh, my gosh.
He crushes a solo blast. It's 9-2 Mariners. Cal Raleigh, a monster night.
Did I read that he's the first Mariner to ever hit 3 at T-Mobile?
At T-Mobile Park, yeah. Edgar did that at the Dome. I think it was back in '99.
That's crazy to me. With last year, with as many home runs as he hit last year, he never got more than
not
two?
Not at T-Mobile.
In a night?
First Mariner in history to hit 3 home runs at a home game. Dom Canzone.
Yep.
Did this in? I'm reading here in the stories. He did it last year at Kansas City at a 5 for 5, like big,
but not at home.
Night, but not at home. Not at T-Mobile, and not when this team after Sundays. Just 19 runs. When the Mariners allowed as many points as the Seahawks defense did in their game with the Titans. Each Seattle defense allowed 19 points.
Now, here's a silver lining. Here's a cool thing. So Cal Raleigh, he's coming online.
Yeah.
So do we know how many home runs he has in the season at this point? I mean, I know
it's 19, I think.
Is it? Oh, 19.
Okay.
It's
19. Yeah.
And he had how many last season? Was it 60?
61? Okay. 60 in the regular season, I believe.
And then he got a few in the
kept going through
postseason.
those posts, yeah.
So if he hits 3 home runs a night for the rest of the season, then he can beat last year, right?
We could move over Barry Bonds.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Well, it's funny because, I mean, we get these – the Mariners made up 2 games in the last week, even though they played, they got blown out 22-0.
So they're still in it?
And 19-2. Yes.
Just because the division's so horrible.
They're 3 back of the Rangers, So yeah, there's a chance, and they got softest. They got the softest September this side of Cotton Candy Mountain.
Maybe they wake up on the other side of this and they make it to the postseason somehow.
Gary Granillo was like, "I'm like, what do you think?" He's like, "I want to believe. I want to have hope."
Yeah,
but he's a Mariner fan.
That's the new motto. I want to believe.
I want to believe.
It's not quite as good as Soto Mojo.
Yeah,
but it's pretty good. I want to believe. All right, I'm going to do mine really fast because we're almost out of time. This is a weatherman. This is a Maine meteorologist who was trying to do the weather. He apparently had tried to play some prank on one of his coworkers. It then got recycled into his head earpiece, and it was like playing on a loop or something. And he ended up sounding like this as he's trying to do the weather. And it's obviously doesn't sound great.
And a few of these showers and storms popping up mostly across the north and west, and resulting in the chance for some heavier precipitation, a few bands of storms in some spots. We gotta finish up this weather right now. I'm so sorry. The 70s, some low 80s, and spots on Monday.
Holy cow, he's losing his mind.
He's lost it.
Oh, jeez. All right, let me get it together real quick. I'm so sorry. Dew points 24.5.
It's so, I mean, it just keeps going. It never gets better.
There's nothing better than local news, man.
It's pretty great. When you lose it like that, everybody's done it if you've been in the business, and it's, it's priceless. All right, we got a lot coming up, 2 o'clock. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, 3 to 7.
Data centers, good, bad. Cleellum deciding they're going to put a moratorium on it, and they'll set them up somewhere else. Yes, it's only 70 jobs, but if you could tax the hell out of the place, kick out some money, believe me, a little town of Cleellum, my little town, could certainly use it. Sometimes people just don't want it in their own backyard. They're driven by their own selfishness.
Watch live or later on the John Curley Show's YouTube channel.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
This is it. These are the nights. The ones where you laugh until you can't anymore. And smile until your head hits the pillow. Where everything feels just right. Because it is. Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Must be 21 and over. Please gamble responsibly.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single-family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital LLC and MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Fans and fellow musicians and actors mourning the loss of Dolly Parton, the music icon, songwriter, and actress, died today. Her legacy lives on.
Dolly Parton is one of only 17 people to be inducted into both the Country Music Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, her name appearing alongside Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, and Ray Charles. She was nominated for a Grammy more than 50 times, winning 10 of them. And in 2011, she won a Lifetime Achievement Grammy Award. Two of her songs, Jolene and Coat of Many Colors, are in the Library of Congress. And in 2024, Billboard magazine put Dolly Parton at the top of its list of greatest country artists of all time. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Dolly Parton's family says that they will carry on her music along with her charity work and say she died at her home in Nashville, Tennessee. Dolly Parton was 80 years old. This is ABC News. The war with Iran and the war between Ukraine and Russia keeping gas prices higher than they usually are at this time of year. Gas Buddies Patrick DeHaan tells ABC News if trends continue, it could be the highest gas that they've seen on Labor Day holiday.
Even if the national average does see slight relief, we'd still have to drop significantly down to $3.83 a gallon to avoid setting a new Labor Day record.
The national average for a gallon of gas hovering around $4.08. Pennsylvania's Governor Josh Shapiro urging people to get vaccinated for measles as his state is battling the worst measles outbreak in more than 30 years.
This disease does not respect county lines or religious lines. It goes after all who are unprotected.
2 people died from the disease in Lancaster County. The governor says the vast majority of cases, along with the 2 victims, were not vaccinated. I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Revisiting Dolly Parton's recent visit to Tacoma. That's after Nate Connors at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
All right, let's start up in Everett, North 5, just before Broadway. A collision's been moved to your left shoulder. It was blocking earlier, and that's why we've got a really thick backup starting at the Boeing Freeway. Eastbound 526 is packed, leaving the Boeing plant. In Northgate, South 5, or actually coming out of Northgate, South 5 is just a little crowded through the U District in the downtown. Linwood to Seattle as 20 minutes. North 5, scattered backups on the West Seattle Bridge at the Ship Canal Bridge. About 20 minutes to clear all this. South 405 now crowded from South Bellevue to Northeast 44th there near the VMAC. Bellevue to South Center up to 25 minutes. Got another backup in South Center. North 405 slows through South Center into those S-curves. And southbound 167 is already heavy between Algona and Pacific. This report brought to you by your Seattle Mariners. Don't miss out on fireworks nights presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the Sing-Along Show, September 4th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo.
Try to make the most of every moment.
The late country music star Dolly Parton singing in Tacoma back in 2023 when her Imagination Library became a statewide program. Superintendent Chris Rakedahl shared the stage with Dolly, says she was passionate about getting books to kids.
She did it in the States, she did it around the country, and millions of kids are fantastic readers today because she helped them get early exposure to books.
Private donations are keeping the Imagination Library alive in parts of our states after the legislature cut funding for that program. The Longview paper mill, where 11 workers died in a tank implosion this spring, is facing a new citation. Labor and Industry says a separate probe launched back in March found Nippon Dynawave failed to keep required safety records for an ammonia tank. Company now facing a $3,000 fine. LNI's investigation into the deadly May implosion continues, along with a third probe into a sinkhole incident at the plants. What could become Washington's largest data center is moving closer to reality. The update from KIRO News Radio's Tim Hole.
Amazon has completed its application for a massive data center campus in Walla Walla County. The first phase calls for 3 buildings along Highway 12, about 14 miles southeast of the Tri-Cities and 32 miles west of Walla Walla. The full project could eventually grow to 16 buildings and nearly $5 billion in investment. Supporters point to jobs and tax revenue. Opponents are raising concerns about power and water use and want a 1-year moratorium on new data centers. The county will now review the application and decide whether it needs more information or can move forward in the permitting process. Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Soundgarden is reuniting to play at halftime of the Seahawks season opener. They will play at Lumen Field when the Hawks host the New England Patriots September 9th. Pearl Jam's Mike McCready and Pretty Reckless singer Taylor Momsen will fill in for the late Chris Cornell. Now to your forecast. We are looking at hazy sunshine again this afternoon with highs today in the upper 80s. Right now, 82 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 glorious hour to go. If you have only chosen 1 hour of the show to listen to, this is it, right here. You've chosen wisely. Can I give you a little peek behind the curtain, Spike?
Yeah, you bet.
My day yesterday?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, so we finished the show. Great show, whatever, other people's words. Some people said best show they've ever heard us do. That's totally fine. I tend to agree with them. Until today, actually. Today was a great show. So I'm flying high. I'm feeling pretty good. We had a good bunch of stuff yesterday. We had some good guests. I get a bunch of text messages from 3 different friends text me and said, oh my gosh, did you hear that story about that guy who put up the sign? You guys should get him on the show. This is literally like one of them came in at 3:17, another one came in at like 5 o'clock, and then the final one was like 8:30 at night. I thought my friends were like
just punking you.
Punking me.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Let's have a little fun with Jake today.
Yes. And so I'm sitting there going like, thanks a lot, friends, for not listening to the show, because we had this guy on who put up the billboard sign. His name is V.A. Fleming. He came on the show.
See, I would have been like, did we really have him on? Was it dreaming?
Wait a minute. Do I have any friends?
Is it still Monday?
And every single one, I sent a link to every one of them from on mynorthwest.com of us doing the interview. I was like, oh, hey, it's so nice that you listen to the show. Check it out. And I sent him back the thing because we had him on at 2:30 yesterday. He was great.
Yeah. Heartbreaking, though, to me. I mean, he was great, but it was heartbreaking to me that this veteran, this disabled veteran.
Who's, by the way, is fighting 2 types of cancer right now.
Yeah.
Also, who has lived in and around this area of Seattle since 1955. For any of you out there who don't own a calendar, that's a long time. That is the year that Disneyland opened. He's been in Seattle.
No kidding. Wow. 71 years.
And so Seattle has changed a lot since 1955. And he has seen it in many different forms. And he would have been in his 20s. He would have been at a very pivotal age when that original sign with the last person leaving Seattle, please turn off the lights.
Well, did we have the clip of him talking about his billboard?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We got
from the 70s, I mean?
Oh, with his
his amour.
Oh, that's right. He's a billboard guy.
That's right. He said that when he was chasing the woman of his dreams, he put up a billboard.
Became his wife.
Yeah.
Listen to this. This is V.A. Fleming on the show yesterday. Really nice guy. We liked him a lot. How'd you come up with this billboard idea?
Well, this goes back about a long time ago. Back in the 70s, I was in love with a girl, and I put up a billboard to tell her so. And that was, and I remember the Seattle was the last person to leave Seattle, turn out the lights.
Sure. Oh, I love this guy. Hey, Vic, I got sidebar. Did that work?
I was just going to say, yeah.
Did it work?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good for you.
Good man.
Billboards work. I mean, as far as advertising
goes, that just gives me so much hope for this effort.
So the billboard that he put up, which drew a lot of attention from my friends who don't listen to the show, it said, would the last taxpayer to leave the Emerald City change the name to the Blue Tarp City of thieves, druggies, and shooters? And then he said, pay it in smaller writing. He said, paid for by V.A. Fleming. And then he included his phone number. Which we called and we said, hey, VA, is this you? And he said, yes. And then we said, you should come on the show and tell us about it. So he did. And he said the reason he had to do a billboard is because he has been trying to contact the city. He lives in that area around Aurora where you see a lot of those, people have had to take vigilante justice stuff into their own hands because the city's not responding. You remember the story about the planter boxes?
Sure.
They were there to deter the pimp wars. Or the guys circling around to pick up prostitutes.
Or the banner that the owner of Dunn Lumber put on his own business.
Yeah.
To draw attention to the human trafficking.
The sex trafficking that was happening. So he put the sign up and we asked him about all right, well, has the city really not responded at all?
I've tried calling the mayor's office. I tried calling them on the phone and I get some person or a AI that says, well, we'll call you back. But they never seem to. Particularly when they find out that what I want to talk about isn't pleasant for them.
Yeah, when your call is a complaint, they don't want to hear it.
No, they don't want to hear it.
So he spent a good chunk of money on this thing. Back in the 1970s, we did some research. That original to leave Seattle, turn the light off, that cost $160 in 1971 to put that sign up. And that was 2 real estate agents who were actually doing it tongue-in-cheek. It wasn't even made as a commentary on Seattle. They were actually saying ha-ha, people actually do want to live here. And
there are plenty of homes available.
Yeah, and talk to us at Something Realty. Now, they ended up getting a big reaction from people who were like, yeah, you're right, guys. It does, there are a lot of people leaving. And so they had to take the billboard down because they were like, this is not what we wanted. Clearly, they were actually striking a chord maybe that was there that they just didn't realize. But he decided the billboard was the best way forward. And, we asked him, why spend so much money on this?
One guy called me this morning, and I spent an hour talking with him, and he said, well, instead of spending $3,000 on a sign, why don't you put up a fence?
By the way, Lord, this got beeped. Is that okay? Yeah.
Thank you.
We had a little beeping we had to do.
And I said, I shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
Put up a fence. How's that? Oh. To me, that's selfish, putting up a fence. Put up a signs. You're speaking up for the entire city that you care about.
Well, anyway, I'm just saying that put up another fence. I mean, this whole city is nothing but
Whoa.
Sorry, Vic. That's okay, sir. Veteran, we appreciate your passion, my friend. We caught that.
It's nothing but fences.
I hear you, sir.
Passionate guy. You can't hate his passion. He seems like a good guy. We're happy to highlight, obviously he feels pretty strongly about what he's seeing. And this is interesting too, because I want to pay credit to one of our regular texters into the show, Fernando, who we read earlier was saying that despite the low level of SPD, he says Seattle's still a very safe city, and that's a fact. He followed up, actually, because we kind of challenged that thought a little bit. We said, well, I don't know, because there had been reports recently about Seattle not being, super high on the list. So he went and looked into it further, and he sent us the thing back. He goes, actually, I stand corrected. Seattle is not even the top 25, or Seattle's in the top 25, but it's like pretty far down the list.
14th, I believe.
We're number 14 of big market cities for safety, and that's not where you want to be. So obviously people are feeling it out there, and obviously VA needed to express this, and I think he's getting a lot of reactions from people for a reason, because they're all feeling it too. So we're happy to highlight that. Should we move on to this other story? We didn't have a chance to get to this yesterday. It broke right at the end of our show, but the Supreme Court ruling on the mail-in balloting. We've now heard from Governor Bob Ferguson on this. We've heard from the Attorney General on this. This is Washington State Secretary of State Steve Hobbs also made his thoughts known on this. Let's play a little bit of this, and we can discuss it.
Now is not the time to attack the states, but to support the states in these elections coming up. But I want to rest assured Washingtonians that we haven't given up. This is not a loss yet. We will continue fighting to the very end to ensure that our elections are secure, accessible, and transparent. The thing that is most damaging in this rule is the fact that the return envelope that you put the ballot in is not acceptable according to the U.S. Postal Service. And so we would have to quickly turn around and create a new ballot. So we probably ask them for a waiver or variance.
Now, this is, as far as I have read, this doesn't affect the current, because we're less than 90 days out, which is what they said that they would need before they could make changes to something like this.
Yeah, the 90-day threshold before an election, which would be November 2nd, whatever the second Tuesday in November is, or first Tuesday in November. There were two rulings that the Supreme Court, or that the lower court of Massachusetts, the District Court of Massachusetts, said that the president's executive order requiring that states who don't submit their voter rolls for federal review, they were going to direct the U.S. Post Office to not deliver ballots to those states which had not complied. Now, there were two rulings by this lower court judge, one saying that executive order was unconstitutional, and he put a hold on that the requirements that the states were being asked for. The other was that the post office had to deliver mail to the states. They had to. So yesterday, the Supreme Court said that the first ruling that the states who don't comply don't get mail. The Supreme Court said, well, the states can't sue. There's no standing to sue.
Well, they said you haven't been harmed yet.
You haven't been harmed yet.
So how can you sue for something that hasn't happened to you yet?
And they left the door open and say, look, if this executive order is enacted and you do become aggrieved and you do gain standing, you can sue again.
We welcome you to sue again,
but
basically.
To your point, within this 90-day window of the election, this seems very unlikely.
It wouldn't change. Even if this was adopted, it wouldn't change anything in Washington this election season.
Well,
right?
I hope that's the case.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question about this. Here's Governor Ferguson's response. He says, well, today's decision by the U.S. Supreme Court is terrible. It's only the beginning to the legal challenge. If these rules are allowed to stand, they will disenfranchise Washingtonians and lead to federal interference in our state elections. Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown said, a majority of the U.S. Supreme Court does not seem to recognize the grave threat the president's actions pose to our democracy. There's nothing hypothetical about his intent to illegally suppress legitimate votes. I'm sorry, not illegitimate, legitimate votes. He says the decision does not bless the substance of the president's actions, and they must wait slightly longer to challenge them. Because was he the co-lead on the lawsuit that got struck down?
Yeah, the AG was, yeah.
With Oregon AG, I don't know who the Oregon AG is, but it was those two states, I think. Because those are two primary mail-in balloting states, isn't that right?
We have the most extensive mail-in ballot system in America.
Here's a question for you. One of the things that the Trump administration is trying to push for, which I think kind of makes sense, is basically a code on the outside of the mail-in ballot and the inside on the actual ballot itself, and those things would match. Do you think that's a good idea?
Anything you can do to make sure the ballots are authentic.
That doesn't seem crazy to me.
It doesn't seem crazy.
So basically, it's basically ensuring that when something is collected, if those two don't match for some reason, then you would have to scratch at that further and go like, well, at some point the chain of custody of this, we can't verify, and we should be suspicious of this as a ballot if it doesn't match the envelope it's supposed to be in. That kind of makes sense to me. And I that is something that they may not be able to enact it here, but like in 2028, for instance.
That's the thing. They're trying to figure out, and the assertion that they're trying to make sure that illegals don't vote and that all votes are cast by U.S.
legal
citizens,
residents,
legal residents,
which everybody wants.
Everybody wants it. It's kind of already the case.
Kind of, but not totally.
Yeah,
there are illegals who do vote. Occasionally, it happens.
There are, but the numbers are so minuscule.
I understand.
I know. But the problem is when the president gets up there and says you can't be trusted and elections are rigged and you can't trust mail-in balloting, and there's an overarching message from this administration that doesn't inspire confidence in people.
Do you
think this
think
administration will do the right thing when it comes to not purging eligible voters from the rolls?
But the list of people who would be the voters is submitted by the states to the U.S. Postal Service, correct?
Yeah.
So it would be Washington who would submit a voters list of eligible voters,
right, and not
to the U.S. Postal Service,
yeah,
and not the federal government.
Right.
So there, I'm not trying to push anyone around here. I'm just asking, because Washington has made it pretty clear. They said we're not going to comply and give that list. The U.S. Postal Service, Department of Human... 23
states refused to turn over their voting rolls to the.
And I would ask, what would be the main issue in Washington State, for instance, if the state is being asked, if Washington State is being asked, all right, you just tell us, the U.S. Postal Service, who we're sending ballots to, and we're happy to send them the ballots. Like that, to me, again, I agree with you that the timeline for the upcoming 2026 midterms way too short, and obviously it's not going to be affected. But for 2028. Because, like everybody says, the massive illegal part of it is not happening, and further securities that you can make it as safe as possible. It's not the worst thing in the world. We live in a new world now where people have AI and they have a lot of ways of faking things. Not the worst thing to have a matching code on the inside and the outside.
I agree with you on that completely. There's concern that this administration, this federal government, is purging people from voter rolls. Oftentimes, there's numerous examples, oftentimes that these people are registered voters and there were simple errors or missing elements that
those people should not be cleared if they're legit voters.
That's the state's concern. That's the state's concern.
But in this case, Washington State would be in control of giving the list over. So just give the list to the U.S. Postal Service.
Oh, no, yeah, that's the case going on forward. That's where we're at.
And I think that to me does make sense. And to not vilify the U.S. Postal Service as being somebody who's trying to stomp your voters out. Like Washington State, just give the list of eligible voters and let them get their ballots.
Well, part of the problem that people have with this administration's executive orders are twofold. First off, that states control elections by decree of the Constitution.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah. That's the U.S. Postal Service doesn't work for the executive branch of the government. It's an independent agency. It gets funding from the U.S. government, from the Constitution. It does not work for the executive branch. The executive branch has no authority to tell the post office who to mail ballots to, whether it's a federally approved list or a state-approved list. That purview doesn't fall into the executive administration.
So who's the Postal Service answer to?
The Congress.
Okay.
Works for Congress, funded by Congress. It's an independent agency. Yeah.
I'm fine with all of that.
Yeah, I know, exactly. That's the problem.
But if it's not, like if it's not happening in Washington, as they say it's not happening, and if there are questions about whether or not you can make it even more secure, I don't understand what the problem is. I'm not asking you to solve this problem.
I hear you.
To Ferguson and to A.G. Brown, why not just, I understand the short window for the midterms.
Yeah,
I get that. But for 2028 and beyond, I think the safest and secure it can possibly be. The thing that they keep saying is it's already the safest and secure, which I don't believe. It could be safer and more secure by adding these simple little things. Those seem like common sense things to me.
Yeah, and it's not perfect. It could be better.
That's just it. Nothing's ever perfect.
But exactly, nothing's ever perfect.
Yeah, there you go. And to strive to perfection, often the enemy of the good. Isn't that what Churchill said?
Yeah. Don't sacrifice progress for perfection.
But I'm for it down the road. I'm fine with secure elections. I don't mind it. Can we talk about this real fast? Because this is one of those funny stories.
What do you got?
So we got the tariffs. We talked about the tariffs yesterday.
Yeah.
with Canada and the U.S.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that Trump is very good at even if you don't like his politics, Trump is very good at knowing how to like draw a headline.
He can throw shade.
And
he can throw shade. He can.
So tell people what he's at least threatening to do, which I think is kind of hilarious.
In the what is now a trade war, a tariff war with Canada. Yesterday or over the weekend, it was implemented 50% tariffs on $20 billion worth of imported goods to the U.S. from Canada.
Yep.
Yesterday, Canada retaliated by strapping a matching retaliatory tariffs on an equal number of American exports into Canada, tit for tat.
Mm-hmm.
President Trump's decided that he's going to look into naming, he wants to rename the Great Lake that is shared between U.S. and Canada, Lake Ontario.
And that connects like New York to Canada, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All that New York, I think it's Ohio. So it's New York. Yeah. Ontario.
Okay. Yeah.
It's now Lake America.
He's threatening to call it Lake America.
Yeah. For the people who brought you the Gulf of America, now we've got Lake America.
Here's the thing. Canadians are never going to change the name. They like Lake Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
And a good chunk of that would be, if I'm looking at the lines here correctly, a good chunk of that is, technically American state lines. So if they want to call it Lake America, I think it's kind of funny. They could go out there and put a buoy out with a big flag that says like Lake America, welcome to Lake America.
Yeah.
And that's the Canadian side, and this is the American side. And it's just, obviously this is done to draw attention.
It's Don. It's Trump being Trump. Don being Don.
Kind of funny.
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, speaking of something that's funny, Chris Sullivan has discovered through personal frustration
Is it safe to say he's got his traffic cones in a bunch?
He's got his cones in a real tight bunch.
In a bunch on this one.
And he's discovered a law that's on the books that they do not teach in road driving courses and doesn't seem to be widely publicized, but you can get in trouble if you break this law. And so if you're driving in traffic, it's probably something you're going to want to hear.
Yeah.
Because Chris Sullivan just experienced this recently. He's going to join us next to talk about it. Stick around. Be right back.
I've lived here almost my entire life.
Seattle's morning news host, Charlie Harger.
I love Seattle. I love that I'm able to raise my children here.
Hear Charlie's 7:35 commentary every morning on Seattle's morning news.
So when I see something that I think might need some attention, that's me pointing out areas of improvement. That is not me saying that Seattle is somehow bad.
You can watch all of Charlie's commentaries anytime on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-346-2476. 800-346-2476. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-346-2476.
Not all roofs are created equal, and not all warranties are either. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Right now, take advantage of free lifetime Golden Pledge warranties on all GAF shingle installations and save up to $3,000 or choose 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Summertime savings won't last forever. Protect your home with a roof you can count on for decades. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Hello?
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Tune in to elevate your wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix them.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Marvin is a dentist.
I couldn't really do my work in the office as easily. There was some pain moving around, and then sitting was difficult.
Hip arthritis and a labrum tear were making it difficult to do his job and threatening something he loves even more.
Do some overseas mission work, and that wasn't going to happen if I had to try to sit on a plane for 15 hours to get told it easily goes.
Orthopedic surgeons gave him a few options.
They said, well, you got like 3 choices. You could do surgery, and then he said you could just plan for hip replacement.
But Marvin had already seen another option work firsthand. His wife Leslie had multiple stem cell procedures with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine.
I'm pushing my way back into fitness, and that's been great.
Rowing, running, cycling, and planning another mission trip to Africa. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 31st, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years for new Xfinity customers. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Dolly Parton, an icon of country music, has died at 80. ABC's Mike Dubusky says beyond her legendary music career, she was a proud philanthropist.
St. Dolly, as some fans called her, used her Dollywood Foundation to support education, providing scholarships and financial assistance to students in need. In 1995, she started the Imagination Library, which has provided more than 300 million books for free to children around the world. After wildfires ravaged Tennessee's Great Smoky Mountains region in 2016, where Dolly Parton grew up, she created a $1,000 a month fund for families impacted by the fires. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
ABC's Alex Stone has information from her family about funeral plans.
They're saying it's going to be small and it's going to be intimate. They had talked about what they would do when she died, that she had the plans for how she wanted the announcement to go, and they say it's going to be small and intimate. That'll be those very close to the family.
President Trump, meantime, honoring Parton, ordering U.S. flags to be lowered to half-staff for 1 week starting tonight. Washington State Patrol is investigating a threat against Governor Ferguson made by an Ording man now held in psychiatric detention. Investigators say 34-year-old Nathaniel Foster checked himself at a Swedish First Hill in Seattle, then told staff and officers he planned to take a bus to Olympia to kill the governor and his staff. According to court documents, Foster has a lengthy, violent criminal history. He is charged with threats against the governor. Wildfire smoke pushing air quality to unhealthy levels in parts of East Pierce County today. Puget Sound Clean Air Agency forecaster Eric Soganich says winds are pushing that smoke out, at least for now.
But these fires are going to continue likely till the fall, till we get those season-ending rains.
We're looking for better air quality starting tomorrow. Seattle Mariners get one of their key infielders back.
J.P. Crawford with an outstanding play.
Shortstop J.P. Crawford returns after missing nearly a month with a wrist injury. Crawford slots right back into the lineup tonight as the M's host the Philadelphia Phillies. First pitch at 6:40 on Seattle Sports 710. Now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. This one brought to us by Harborstone Credit Union. In Everett, North 5, we're bumper to bumper from 526 up to Broadway. From an earlier collision, it's sitting on the left shoulder, Everett to Marysville, just under a 10-minute commute, so it's not terrible at all. In fact, once you get through this 2-mile backup, you're wide open. Also, eastbound 526 remains jammed up from the Boeing plant to I-5. Now, in South Everett, we've got a new brush fire. It's North 5 just past 128, blocking the left lane. Both directions of I-5 are jamming up as you approach the scene. The drive through Seattle isn't too bad. South 5 crowded from the U District into downtown. North 5 scattered backups from the West Seattle Bridge or the Ship Canal Bridge. South 405, it is heavy now from South Bellevue down to the VMAC. Bellevue to South Center up to a half-hour drive. We cleared our earlier backups in South Center, though. And northbound 167 heavy from 180th to 405. Southbound 167 heavy south of State Route 18 into Sumner. Earn up to $30 a month just for using your Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card. Open your free checking account online today at harborstone.com/cash. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Yeah, we got that haze filter going on today with highs topping out in the upper 80s. Tomorrow, cooling off into the upper 70s and then low 70s on Thursday, Friday, and again on Saturday. Chance for a few showers as the work week ends as well. Right now, 83 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. We got a doozy. This is a law I assumed was just a kindness, but this is actually on the books. You can actually get in trouble for not doing this. Chris Sullivan joins us to help figure this out. Chris, what's going on?
Well, and I thought this was common knowledge, but apparently I'm coming to find out that it is not, and it's not even in the driver's guide.
That's probably why it's not common knowledge. It's not taught.
May not be taught.
So is it a law? If it's not in the guide and it's not being taught?
It's not in the driver's guide, though it is a law. And what we are talking about is Washington's slow-moving vehicle law. And apparently a lot of people are not aware of this. And I could explain to you why I'm bringing this up again, because I bring this up like every 5 or 6 years once I get stuck behind someone going really slow on the highway. In Washington, if you're on a 2-lane road, we're talking like, say, 101, Highway 2, 97, the ones that are 1 lane in each direction highway. And if you are going under the speed limit or not keeping up technically with the flow of traffic and you have 5 or more cars stuck behind you, you are required to get over. You are required to get over when safe and let those cars pass you by.
Get off the road.
Get off the side of the road. Go off to a turnoff, pull off onto the side of the road where you can get your rig out of the way and let everyone behind you pass. It is state law, and it applies to everybody. I mean, you could be in your sedan and you're a little nervous. You're driving on this windy road to the beach and you're going 10 miles an hour under the speed limit and you've got 15 cars behind you. You are required by law to get over. It doesn't just apply to rigs that are normally slow moving, like someone towing a trailer, someone towing a fifth wheel, a bus,
a log truck,
semi,
a heavy equipment hauler. We've seen all these people.
And again,
on the
now
road
we're not talking
this.
farm equipment. Farm equipment has their own special placard. They have a little sign that goes on the back, and they have to go 25 miles an hour. That's a different.
So a
rule.
tractor is not required to get off the road.
Well, they have their own separate law, and we're not talking about this. This law, what I'm talking about, the slow moving vehicle law, applies to any vehicle on a 2-lane road going under the speed limit and you have 5 or more cars in tow behind you that you are impeding the progress of.
Now, I've
You're
seen these
required to get over.
I've seen these posted most often like on passes, mountain passes. There, slow vehicles must pull to the road, toll out to pass.
Right.
But there's not signage like anywhere else.
Well, there's signage in a couple of places. People have told me that they saw it like on 104 going through Squim. Where I was, and why I'm bringing this up, is I went down to the Long Beach Peninsula over the weekend. If people don't know where that is, it's on the southern tip of Washington, right across the Columbia River from Astoria, Seaside, Warrenton. And 101 there is a very small, windy 2-lane road, very few opportunities to pass legally. There's a double yellow in a lot of the spots there. And for 20 miles, I was stuck behind a guy towing a trailer going 30 miles an hour in a 55 at times. I was car, I think, 5 or 6. There were at least 15 or 20 more behind me. And he just wouldn't get off, wouldn't get over. Now, granted, the person may not have realized, 1, the law, or 2, a place that are safe to do so, though there are many on that stretch of 101. There are no signs there on that section of 101. And this is new, updated from, since I did the story on Seattle's Morning News, I just got an email back just shortly from the Department of Transportation. And they're like, well, our engineers have looked at that section of 101 and we don't think they're, any really good places to pull over. So we haven't put any signs there. I'm like, well, people get over there all the time. There are plenty of places you can get over. But I just think the person I was behind just didn't realize that this is the law.
Can I suggest another possibility?
What's that?
He was a jerk.
I try not to ascribe that to other drivers. I just assume maybe driving the big rig, he was just thinking about it. The road's kind of windy, and he
probably
just wasn't paying
new
attention.
Boat owner, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, this was a rather large
Maybe.
Arctic fox. Not that I'm getting paid for that, but I think they're a pretty popular brand of the big trailers. And and so the law is pretty clear. You're supposed to get over. And the reason I bring it up is, sure, on my trip to the beach,
you're
I
angry.
lost.
That's why you're bringing it up.
I lost 15 minutes on a 3.5-hour trip. Okay, big deal. But what I have seen this do in the past, and then what I saw on Sunday returning home when I was stuck behind another motorhome who was doing the same thing, was people then, their blood pressure goes up and then they start making really stupid decisions behind the wheel, which is making risky passes, elevating to road rage. And the car right behind them, car number 1 in line behind my RV on Sunday, was like veering like
right,
on his
you're coming blind at
bumper,
oncoming traffic.
Right, you just pull it like in basically one of those giant.
It's like a pace car situation. He's like keeping his tires hot.
Of those, and this guy in car number 1 was in a car almost as big, one of those really expensive Mercedes kind of travel rigs that you kind of see, the big tall Sprinter, kind of like that. And he was and then finally he crossed across a double illegally to pass this person, which I will never say is the right thing to do at all.
Right.
But I mean, it led to the people's blood behind them boiling, and the State Patrol always tells me is the reason why this is a law, because people get frustrated and then they do stupid things. And on a 1-lane road in either direction, as one trooper told me when I did this story a couple of years ago, trees never lose. If you lose it on the road, trees are undefeated when you hit them.
Yeah.
Only bad things can happen. So it's just a reminder that everybody involved here, this is the state law. Move over when safe to do so. And if you're behind them, okay, try to dial down your temperature when you can, and then hopefully they will get over. But it's a teachable moment to me.
Well, but how come it's not taught? Speaking of teachable, it's not part of the driving class. It's not part of the test.
I thought it was part of but I went through the driver's guide online and in hand, and it's not mentioned in our driver's guide at all. Even in the towing section, it's like, hey, if you're going to tow something, be sure your lights work and be sure you're doing. But nothing about this. Now it is covered in CDL training, commercial driver training, but you don't need a CDL to drive to tow any of these big things.
Right.
Maybe that's how we get at it. Maybe there should be a leaflet handed out with every 5th wheel that when you buy one or when you buy a trailer or
this is not just trailers,
boat,
this is any
just let
vehicle.
them know. But it should be taught. And I asked the Department of Licensing. It's like, why isn't this in the driver's guide? Well, they're like, well, we don't put every law in there, but it's kind of covered. Maybe if we think this is an issue, we'll add it. We're always adding things. I'm like, I was taught this in driver's ed in Oregon, and in Oregon, these signs are everywhere on 2-lane roads. They're everywhere.
I feel like I've seen those.
And
on
so I
101.
just thought it was common knowledge, and I just assumed maybe the guy just didn't know. But yeah, that's the rule.
Did you consider, because how long you were behind this guy? 20 miles?
20 miles going 30 and a 55 off and on. Now, granted, there were some curves in there where it was 40, and
Yeah,
so I get that.
That'll
but
boil the blood quick. Did you consider making a citizen's arrest?
no, again, I was car 5, and there was no. I stayed car 5 behind him for 20 miles.
When he finally turned out, did you guys all kind of just like immediately speed up, just gas pedal?
Well, at that point, we were almost to the coast, so it didn't really matter. At that point, I was going to go 80 and a 50
into the
for
water
the last 2 miles into Long Beach.
If the state has this on the books,
yeah,
and if they do make a public awareness campaign as they should, because like you said, if people don't know to let traffic pass, it leads to dangerous decisions by frustrated drivers.
By
right?
other drivers. There's a ripple effect to all of this.
You see cars passing maybe 3, 4, 5 at a clip.
And that's
when you get a moment and you do decide to take your life into your own hands and you see 5 NASCAR level speeders.
And they have to go 80, 85,
right, to pass
and a
this
50,
guy.
55 to get around them.
If the state's going to make this a law, do they have to provide turnout places?
Well, and that's the thing. There was one section of that 101 just outside of Long Beach where, as you're going up a hill, there's kind of a climbing lane, and it says you can, slow moving
vehicles
vehicle
move right.
turn out. You can hang out there. The whole rest of the drive that I'm talking about, there are unmarked places along the side of the road, and maybe the person was waiting for a place that said, "Hey, pull out here," and there wasn't one, and that's why I went to WashDOT, and they're like, "Well, we didn't really. The engineers don't think there were safe places to pull out there, so we didn't put out any." Well, the problem is people are using these spots that are there already. Maybe they could relook at it, because again, this is not unusual.
Yeah, turnout 5. I've seen turnout 5 miles ahead.
Something ahead,
and then it's the law.
Like that.
Simple. It's the law.
Nothing on that 101 section from Long Beach up to Montesano before it curls over towards Olympia.
If folks want to learn more about this, where can they find out?
They can go to mynorthwest.com. Again, don't go to the driver's guide. I mean, I do have a link to that in my story at mynorthwest.com. The section on towing is 4-19 if you'd like to look at the half page on towing. I think we could probably use a little bit more on that too. But anyway, yeah, it's there. Plus, I've got the RC, the state law, everything in there for you to read. And, just, it's a reminder. We have like 2 weekends left of summer driving, a lot of, and so it's just a
Labor
good
Day
reminder
to
tell everybody, just if you got one of those rigs, or if you're not comfy with the road and you're keeping people, pull over where it's safe to do so, and then
check
let
those
them go.
rear views. If there's a parade behind you, pull over.
Yeah.
All right, Chris Sullivan, check him out at mynorthwest.com. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
Hello, sweltering Seattle. John Curley here. Is your home staying cool? Are you losing sleep because it's just too hot? At Home Comfort Alliance, the goal is not to sell you a new system. It's to fix the one that you have. Repair first, replace only if it truly makes sense, saving you time and money. If your system's done, a heat pump gives you both cooling and heating for year-round comfort. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
Thank you very much. Integrity Roofing and Construction has been serving and supporting our Puget Sound community for 10 years. If your roof is aging, if you got storm damage, just ready for an upgrade, now's the perfect time to schedule your free consultation from Integrity Roofing and Construction. They have products that last longer and perform better, and their team is incredible. They deliver full transparency. You know exactly what your home needs before you spend a dime. Locations in Issaquah, to Sequim, to Everett, to Gig Harbor. Visit IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com to book an assessment today. Integrity Roofing and Construction, where doing the right thing matters.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Sprained wrist, ankle twist, broken thumb, can't make a fist, busted knee, surgery, that patch of ice you didn't see.
Where pain starts, Jernavix suzetrigine begins. Jernavix is a non-opioid 50-milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain.
Tendon tear, nose repair, tripping on that broken stair, dislocation, operation, moped crash while on vacation.
Do not take Jernavix with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems, as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Jernavix may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes.
Joint displacement, knee replacement, fell on marbles in the basement, ladder slip, broken hip, that rock climb where you lost your grip.
To learn more about Jernavix, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit jernavix.com.
Cozy season is ahead, and you'll be spending way more time inside. Is your home ready? Don't worry. With Wayfair, you can upgrade your space without breaking the bank. Score up to 70% off during their Labor Day clearance on furniture, area rugs, mattresses, and more. Plus, surprise flash deals you can't miss. Whether it's one room or the whole house, Wayfair has pieces for every style and budget.
Shop Wayfair's Labor Day clearance now through September 7th at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Guys, if you have low energy or reduced drive, it could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, start with a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com.
Sprained wrist, ankle twist, broken thumb can't make a fist, busted knee, surgery, that patch of ice you didn't see.
Where pain starts, Jernavix suzetrigine begins. Jernavix is a non-opioid 50 milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain.
Tendon tear, nose repair, tripping on that broken stair, dislocation, operation, moped crash while on vacation.
Do not take Jernavix with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems, as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Jernavix may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes.
Joint displacement, knee replacement, fell on marbles in the basement, ladder slip, broken hip, that rock climb where you lost your grip.
To learn more about Jernavix, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit jernavix.com.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at progressive.com.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Right now, save $50 on any AC service at Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Honest pricing, guaranteed work, 16 family-owned locations, and no appointment needed. Stay cool this summer. Bucky's.com.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Welcome back to the show. It is last call. Time for your text messages. Man, we got a lot of good stuff today. We'll just fire away. Get right into it.
Jen says on travel teams for kids, 4 kids all participating in youth athletics. 3 of them, 3 went on to participate in D1 and D3 college athletics. 1 is still playing professionally. So much to say about this topic. Such a racket. None of them started any club sports until 8th grade. It was so unhealthy for families, children's mental and physical development, and more.
Whoa. Wow. That's a really interesting take from Jen, because obviously you have a lot of kids. Every parent struggles with how much attention can you give to each kid's endeavors and sports or whatever it might be. And they went on to have the fact that she had 3 went on to play in college. That's statistically very, very difficult. 1 still professionally. I got some really good advice from a friend of ours, Brock Heward, who had, obviously he comes from quite a lineage of successful athletes. It's continuing on in his family, obviously. And I was asking about my kids, like, how much effort should you be putting in to specialize in things and at what age? And he's like, listen, man, don't do it too early. Don't force them to burn so bright that they burn out on something. And give them the opportunity to play a lot of different things, build up their skills. Maybe they play soccer and they get really good with their legs. Maybe they play, maybe they're in wrestling. They get really good with hands and all that stuff. So that by the time they want to specialize in something, they've gotten really good at just learning how to use their body.
Yeah, being a well-versed athlete.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Dawn and Lacey says if parents are doing travel teams to get the college scholarship, if the money paid for team fees, uniforms, lodging, meals, traveling, etc. was invested in a college fund account, college would be paid for. Also, if parents are exhausted from driving kids to practices and games, imagine how the kids doing the sports feel.
That's a great question. This one is obviously a joke, but it's funny. Josiah and Cleo, did you see this, Spike?
Oh, good. Go
Spike's folks didn't invest in just travel teams because his dad couldn't justify the added hay needed for the horses to pull the buggy to all the games.
Plus, going to games in the fall and you get snowed in at the pass, who knows what would happen?
Who knows what?
Thank you very much.
People get hungry.
Josiah. On Dolly Parton, who passed away at 80 years of age, we had so many beautiful texts. Teen in Seattle says, Dolly was asked by an audience member, how long does it take to do her hair? She laughed and said, I don't know. I'm never there when they do it, which is the ultimate. That's the joke.
That is funny.
Yeah.
360 says, you asked how many young people know of Dolly. 360 says, my 4-year-old knows Dolly Parton because of the free book program. She was 4 years old and thinks that Dolly sends it to her specifically every month. How sweet is that? That a little 4-year-old thinks that she's got a friend in Dolly Parton.
Man.
Very cool.
Joel in Big Lake says, don't forget Dolly was Miley Cyrus's godmother. We got a lot of texts about that today.
I knew that. 360 says
she was.
Yep. 360 says Dolly is Earth's gift to heaven.
Well, that's nice.
Isn't that beautiful?
Let's see here. Connie in Seattle says, I have a Christmas album of Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. We play it every year. Dolly always had a smile, sense of humor, and sage advice. She will be missed.
425 says, let me say this about Dolly. The word dislike does not exist in her realm, and her realm is the world. I love you, Dolly.
Read Nathan and Elma. Because it's nice to Dolly, but it's also complimentary of us. Spike, do you want to read that one?
Dolly and Kenny Rogers were a powerhouse. Islands in the stream. Thanks for speaking of her so highly, Jake and Spike. You guys are good men with kind hearts. Thank you.
Oh, that's nice, Nathan.
Thanks, Nathan.
We don't like to highlight ourselves, but that's nice.
It's okay if you do it.
Can we do, for just a quick minute here, can we talk about Cal's 3 home runs? People really love that. Let's see here. 862 says, the 3 home runs were awesome, but Dumper's approach at the plate the past few games have been even more encouraging in my book. What do you think that is? Just because he's being more aggressive, or what's the deal? What do you think 862 is talking about?
Focusing back to the basics. Learning, he says, I'm following the fastball now. So good for him.
That's what he likes.
Back to basics.
Ruth in Shoreline says, I agree with you, Jake, regarding Cal hitting 3 home runs every game for the rest of the season. He could surpass last season's record. I said as much to my husband this morning. Forever optimistic regarding the Mariners.
There you go, Ruth.
You have to be.
Great minds. All right, finish this out, Spike. You pick one on something else.
On mail-in balloting. There you go. 206 says, why is there always some sort of mail fraud when Trump is in office running the entire country, but not a peep when Democrats are running the country? And he wins when Democrats are running, but when Republicans are in office, there's fraud. So stop promoting BS. Well,
is 206 saying that we're promoting BS?
I would hope not.
By talking about it, 206?
I would hope we're trying to give both sides of every story.
206, we talk about everything. Doesn't matter. We're happy to talk both sides. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, listening today. Tons of fun. John Curley's coming up next. We'll be back here tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, 3 to 7.
The media's in the passenger seat. The government's driving the bus. Problem is, I don't know how the government gets people's trust back, and I don't know how the media gets the trust back as well. We've become a low-trust society. I don't know if we're as bad as the former USSR or Russia is now. Truth is whatever anybody pays it to be, and somebody wants to believe it for whatever reason somebody wants to believe it.
Watch live or later on the John Curley Show's YouTube channel.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Your dog is limping, but she seems fine. Plus you've heard they can fake it just to get what they want. So what's the deal now? You're being gaslit.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Oh, now she switched legs. What a diva.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Truck started slow. Battery might be toast.
Slow starts are the first sign of heat damage to your battery. We'll test it, no charge.
Thanks. And if it is dead?
We'll set you up with a new, fully warranted battery, some up to 5 years, and we'll recycle the old one.
Thanks for the rundown. Lead the way.
Get free battery testing, charging, and recycling at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin. Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-646-5959. That's 800-646-5959. 800-646-5959.
My name is Jeff. I live in Northern California, and I am 65 years old, actually 65 and a half as of 2 days ago. I've been practicing medicine for 37 years. People have this impression that doctors know insurance, that they understand insurance. Let me assure you they do not. Medicare is complex. It's really complex, and the government did not make it easy to understand. Chapter really helps you understand it. They talked me through what my options were, and then they helped me tailor-make a plan. One of the things that really impressed me with Chapter was the human touch element of it. I was not talking to an AI agent. I was talking to a real person who answered my questions. And not only that, but they remembered the particulars from our last conversation. They really weren't just being a representative, that they actually cared about me as a person. And that sounds cliche, but it makes all the difference in the world.
To learn more about how you can get free personalized Medicare advice, visit chapter.com today. Again, that's chapter.com.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll